And here we go. Today is that day, and anybody that can see this, come what may. I'm hiding this area here because this camera is not picking up what I'm putting down, and therefore wanted to try and get this as best I could to pick up that this is Uncle Pat's text for me. I had it going. You just saw it there. This was the only position I got it in, and that won't do it again. It literally had Mary had a little lamb she kept in her backyard. Okay. And we change it to there. Okay. My apologies. My apologies. There is just there's an interesting, I do believe I can fix this. Okay. Maybe that's the case. Let me check. Settings, 10.4, and mirror my camera. It's virtual background. It's a blur. That's what's going on. Okay. So you can see everything behind me. I don't really care. I think that's what was causing this all along. If that's the case, we'll go ahead and just show this. It is Pat, Uncle Pat Moody. My apologies, Pat. And this is a message when Mom didn't want to give Pat pictures from the house that she had, family pictures, and she actually got mad at me for giving the pictures to Pat. And I actually texted him afterwards that I had more pictures, and Mom got mad at me for doing that. Now, this is right when I started staying with Mom after the foreclosure of my house unlawfully, which we'll get into that another time. This is a pure dialogue between Pat and I that is codified in text messages. I have to tell you, I'm a disabled man with bad back problems, had just suffered foreclosure, just suffered the loss of my mom, and just dealt with my sister threatening me with a gun, literally assaulting me with a gun, um, and stealing a bunch of stuff from my mom's house. Now, I have video of that, and Pat didn't care about any of this. He actually just railroaded a disabled guy who can barely get up from the seat right now. My apologies, Pat. I really wish you didn't tune me out. It, I didn't mean to offend you. I was only trying to share my thoughts of everything going on in the world. Confusion. I try to understand via research. Mom is fragile. Please be kind to me, especially around here. Thanks. I'm sorry. Now, that was sent Friday, April 1st to 22nd to 2022. So then in April 19th, a couple weeks later, call me ASP. Scott, hello. Now he's come to the house at that point. He was in town in the villages and hardly got any time to spend with him. We went to a Mexican restaurant, a few other things. But Pat tunes me out. I talked to him about rights, freedoms, principles. I talked to him about the Constitution. I talked to him about his endeavors into finance because he was the CFO for Starkist Tuna, and before that, Del Monte. So this is a smart guy, and the stuff I've been studying, I could use an uncle who would actually participate in helping me understand the world around me. But instead, he tunes me out. It's like a dial tone to him, I guess. And so I had the pictures of the other photos and stuff from Grandma and Grandpa, I thought, and he didn't respond. He just said nothing. So Mom was still pissed off at me that I even let him in the house to get the pictures he took from her. She said she'd never see him again, and that was the fact. She was right. Nothing I can say about that. Okay, but the fact remains, Mom called it. Well, I then wrote stuff about the state. The state claims interest in every child within its jurisdiction. This is way before Mom passes, and it deems necessary to nullify your parental rights and appoints a guardian, trustee over your children. This is through the birth certificate process. This is literally what they're doing to all of us. I'm trying to tell Pat this because he has three girls, and even though they're adults now, they're still listed through the system as infant minors incapable to handle their own affairs. I'm not saying that. The rules say that. So moving right along, we have, and let me go ahead and take this to where I can see it. Okay. Um, I tell them about things for assets to be the trust to be tracked if the information is true, your child is now owned by the state, blah, 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 blah. This goes back to House Joint Resolution 192, 1933, bankruptcy of the United States. We're all designated by this government as human resources. Um, just is the way it is. Uh, at any rate, it's put some stuff about contempt of court and the use of crown copyrighted registered name, a legal version of your name, but it's not you legally. I wrote this stuff to him, and it's lengthy. But this is stuff today, generations, tireless researchers worldwide, and their long hours cross referencing, urgent need of transparency. Uh, with respect to reform is being addressed, the change step by step. Discovered this legal system is just misleading. So I texted him that. It's verbose at best. I guarantee you, I'm still scrolling through this. I stopped to read it. Okay. And then on November 28th, remember that's April? So November 28th, it's the next time I text him. This is months later. Hopefully, this is 2022. Hopefully, you all had a happy Thanksgiving. And then November 28th, then December 25th, Merry Christmas. No response. I'm probably blocked because I sent him stuff and asked him questions about finance. In particular, I was asking when we were up at my Uncle Don's and Brett, my cousin. This is a funeral, my uncle's funeral after he died. And I had asked Pat before this when we went up for a visit when Uncle Don was still alive. But I asked Pat about the 1099 process, the 1099 OID, and about the original issue discount, set it off and discharge, and how these mechanisms are working through commercial paper. Everything's commerce. He goes, if you figure that out, you'll be a billionaire. Leave me alone. And then he goes off to drink. Well, my cousin himself told me that he and his mom were both told by their father, my Uncle Don, they were told by Don not to trust Pat with money. Don't do it. You can't trust him. And now my mom heard that too, because Brett told us both. And my mom took Pat away from all her stuff, but left him evidently as her durable financial power of attorney. But he didn't accept the role. And when he came to pick up these pictures, I told him she was in foreclosure and she needed his help. He said, I'm her trustee. She said, no, he's not. I don't have a trust. I threw it away. And that's what she did after Don died. When Don died, she wanted nothing more to do with the Nogue name. She literally put things in Richard. She was trying to change her name back to Richard. She bought a car in Mary Ann Richards' name, which Pat had to fraudulently sell to me with my own money. Mom was giving me that car because Michelle had stole a bus, and she sold the bus that was belonging to both of us. So if the family wants to get on the right side of the truth, we're getting to it. Please consider this. This is my affidavit of truth, sworn testimony, and facts as I know them. I do not lie, cannot tell a lie, I will not lie. So these are my oath, my no oath to anybody but God, my sworn testimony before God the Father, my Creator. There is no one above me but He. I am that I am, a son of the man, and I am man, Atman, Bene Elohim. I am, Atom. Understand what I just said. I'm the beginning, I'm the end, I'm everything because I am in the Father, the Creator of all. And I am a representation of Him. I am in His divine image. So true, you just don't know this, or you don't respect it, or respect it in others. Maybe that's the problem. Please, let's move along. Talk to them about Federal Reserve notes. How do you pay a note with a note? My mom lost her house because they had a note on it. What about the collateral cash account? That's what I was asking Pat about. How do you not have some kind of financing going on without the collateral cash account? Collateral cash account comes from the original issue discount, comes from the originator of any loan. Who is that? The one they're calling the borrower is actually the creditor. Pat, you're in finances on a global scale and you won't be honest with me. Yeah, that's why I called you. To see you next Tuesday. We'll get to it. It's coming. Act of Congress canceled United stamps. They're all representations of value. Okay. And they're all responsibility of the United States. It's legal tender, a note of banking, Federal Reserve notes. There used to be Federal Reserve banker notes, but most of you don't know that. So I put them all on this, and let's go to the facts of the matter. After I show them the stuff that I know I'm trying to get to, because there's just some stuff that I sent him, but I don't think he ever saw it, so it doesn't matter. But then mom dies. Okay, here we're into 2023, March 25th, a couple months before she dies. I send him a picture. He doesn't get it. But then people are calling him, telling him my mom dies. This is Wednesday, July 26th. My mom's gone a few days. I'm back at my room. Please let me know when I can call. So I've held up the funeral against my sister's wishes, got in a fight, went to a funeral home that my mom had chosen, and my sister and her friend, Rena Massagrea, decided to accost me at the place after showing up a half hour late. Becky Joe was there, and so was her boyfriend at the time, or still, I believe he's a boyfriend, Gary. He's deaf, but he saw Rena almost punch me in the face. She put her hand in my face like that. I mean, within a millimeter or two of my nose, when she was trying to ask the receptionist at the funeral home while we're talking to the funeral director if we could put my mom into the furnace and go ahead and cremate her so we don't have to pay for refrigeration for any extra days. Verbatim, that's what she said. I'm like, oh my God, can you please? And that's when she put her hand up in front. I almost didn't hold my cool. I really almost didn't hold my cool. That woman's hand came up in my face like that while she was asking if she could take my mom off cold storage and burn her. Pretty much what it is. So, Pat, call me, Pat. I don't want to complicate things, but Michelle has ransacked the house while I was holding my mother's hand, and she's losing her life. I have it on video. It's unbelievable. And now she's trying to turn everything around, telling Becky that I said it's okay. And Becky's telling me that you told her to get mom's credit cards, any financial records, and to destroy them per the trustee. I'm very confused because now the funeral home has been told by her, I suppose, that the trustee assigned Michelle to make all decisions. I've been taking care of my mom for years now. I mean, that was 2020. Plus, before then, that the first messages when I was staying with my mom was there. Okay. And the funeral home has been told that the trustee assigned Michelle to make all decisions. Now, there's no documentation as such. I need to see something before it can defer to someone's judgment. My sister has ransacked mom's house. She stole gold. She stole all the other things. That's all on tape. Um, and is already in the driver's seat. She arguably has done everything wrong thus far. Give me a call when you have a moment. And she didn't want to have anything to do with waiting for Pat to come back, who was not extended his vacation, but his vacation went on a week past when mom died. So everything was held up so that we could make sure Pat was here so that he could bend me over and fuck me and you know. Can't talk going through customs. What's up? Call me. About what? When you can. Sorry for the BS. I'm trying to do things right for mom. I'll discuss funeral at this time, nothing else. He's now at this time told me I have to get out of the house. He's not even in the country or just getting into the country. And he has already made the assumptions that mom hasn't done anything else. And the only trust that he has is from 2013. This is 2023. And Donna's died, and mom has thrown that trust away. Guaranteed, she's changed her name back to Richard in her mind. No more Don Nogay. He has done things to harm her entire family, and she not having it. So please and thank you. I was sent on a mission to get Larry to get the boys to the funeral, and that's what happened. When I called Larry and tried to bargain with him, I tried to make amends, and four boys, if possible, went off track. Stated Monday, blah blah blah. This is just about trying to get Larry sent to Pat, only for only a visa. So I got a message. Only a Visa debit card attached to mom's Suncoast account. Mom had me use cards sometimes. Gave me checks other times. I had conjured up my own cash for most of the things I needed. Most dealings with her were everyday routines. and whim's just a blessing in disguise, I guess, to see it now. It was the best move ever having stayed up there with mom. I truly got to spend time with her. I mean, I won't deny that. Had I not made the decision to go be my mom's caregiver, personal living caregiver, which I was supposed to get paid 200 a week for just being there at nighttime. Then it raised up to 500 a week because I was there every day and every night. I was at her beck and call for 24/7. She got some people trying to get me relief because I couldn't leave her. I had to be with her. She wasn't okay to be alone. She couldn't see well. She couldn't drive. She couldn't do a lot of things, including walk at times. Okay. So I was there and I did everything I could for my mother, and I'm glad I was. But this family curse and the lies that went on are not okay. And we're going to get this shit straight. I don't care who you are or what you say about it. We're going to get it right. Or we're going to be the darkest fucking family on YouTube. You understand? So make like the Mayflower, come across, do things right. You got to stop and correct. Okay? I told you a long time ago, you were over your skis, Pat Moody. Now it's time we pay the Pied Piper because you robbed and you cheated and you stole from me big time. Ain't gonna keep just dealing with it. It's time you're gonna have to pay me back. So let's move on. And I don't care if you didn't like being called a see you next Tuesday. It's what you deserve to be called. So, okay, please use things for that are okay. Please use that for things that are state related, like dogs. If you run short on cash, submit receipts, and I'll pay you personally and reimburse myself later when I get access to the accounts. Never gave me dog food. Only decided that he was going to send it to the store on the corner. Hmm. Just this guy decided right off the bat that I was his subservient and I had no choice in the matter but to bend the fucking knee. And that's what he told me. Or else. It was a threat, just a fucking flat out threat that he would ruin me. That's what Don said. Don fraudulently did the same thing to me. And this was Don's henchman even after Don died. And mom knew that. That's why she takes Pat away from this by dissolving the fucking trust. She threw it away. Don't say I did anything with it because that's a motherfucking lie. So appreciate every nickel, every dime. I said, nursing it himself, video trying to send. Sammy was hurt. He hurt, broke his leg, and Pat won't send me money. Here's a picture of Sammy with his broken foot and it's bleeding. And Pat doesn't care. He just doesn't care that the poor dog sitting right here. Sammy's asleep right here. I take care of him every day. Still. Sammy's right there. This is Sammy right here. I take care of him every day, and he's still blind and deaf, and you got to pick him up to take him outside because he can't take care of himself. But Pat hasn't sent me a dime. This is 2 years later. My mom's gone, and I'm still not in receipt of any of my belongings. My Tempur-Pedic bed was thrown away. My pillows, my expensive freaking bamboo pillows thrown away, everything of mine gone, my dressers, my all my belongings in my house, all my furniture, all discarded because Pat didn't care. My big shelves, metal shelves in the garage that I just got, the big uh, diamond plate front, he sold them. He gave them away. The guys, he just gave all my stuff away. I didn't have 24 hours to come back and get it. I had one trailer that was brought up to me, no money because they cut off all the credit cards. My mom hadn't paid me in years, and I was sucking it all up for the family. Michelle knew that. She even wrote her Harvey Dent ass a letter to me thanking me, saying she'd send me more. Sent me $200 one time because she knew she talked me into going up there and taking care of mom. So she didn't have to deal with it. And she knew that she owed me a big deal of gratitude and respect for it. But she is two faced like Harvey Dent is and ever was. And she couldn't appreciate a motherfucking thing. That's who she is. Sick, sick, sick. So I told Pat the truth and he didn't care. So let's go. So you're welcome to stay here at mom's. I sent him. I said, Gary, I said, come stay at mom's. There's an office here. There's a couple beds. You can stay in mom's room. I can sleep on the fucking air mattress if I have to. Gary already invited us to stay there. So Pat is now invited to stay at my mom's. This is for the funeral. He's saying, I'm trying to keep him out of the house. I wouldn't let him in the house. This is before the funeral. This is, you are welcome to stay here. You are welcome to stay here. Okay. This is not me trying to hide anything from anybody. This is you are welcome to stay here, mom room. I'll sleep on the couch or whatever. And then the next thing he's saying, Gary, there it is. Gary has said that we could stay there. Now, I had just been at Gary's house and taken care of mold, wiped down a bunch of shit because there was mold all over everything. So Pat and his wife stayed in the mold house, and I don't know that neurological problems show up after that. And this is what Pat's experiencing. I hope Mary's not, but I could potentially take the office. I could potentially take the office and let somebody have my bed, which is a king size bed, and maybe better for multiple people. Also, a king mattress. Okay, no problem. Just let me know because I didn't see that he had sent that. Sure will. Thanks. So here we are. This is the night before mom's funeral. And Pat tells me I have to get out of the house. Now, I didn't want to go to this, okay, because I didn't have money. Because Pat has already cut off the credit cards and left me desolate for broke. So I'm sitting there because Becky, right next to me, Becky had said, I'll pay for you. I'll pay your way. Don't worry. Now, Marcia Scanlon's there. I could have asked her. She could have called Tommy. Tommy would have paid for me. Hell, there's Mary and Todd Brandyoffer there. I could have asked them to pay for me. They would have paid for me. My mom just died. I probably could have asked Pat's wife. She would have. But Pat, who's claiming to be a trustee of a trust that my mom discarded, he's sitting there telling me I shouldn't even be there. My mom's freaking dinner, with respect to her, he's telling me, he's sitting right next to me. He's telling me I'm a scumbag, shouldn't be there. After taking care of his eldest sister for days, weeks, months, years now. Not to mention that her self robbed me of a bunch of money from 6337 Memorial Highway, the contract and closing that I loaned her. And then she kept the mortgage on that place for 10 years, tried to get me to reassign it for the buyer that I'd brought initially when I gave her my initial commission so she could hold the mortgage, was supposed to pay me in time as she was getting paid over $5,500 a month. Never paid me back my 20, it was $32,000 reduction in commission over, and then it was even more than that because she took a referral fee, got her license put with Mario Polo. Just shady shit. I told Don Moody about that. I told Pat about that, and they're like, sue her, just sue her, just sue her. I thought the Bible says go to your elders and talk to them. I guess you just don't read the Bible or practice what it preaches. So check your email, please. UP, it was not right coming up to the house and setting me up with my neighbor. This is right after the funeral. I immediately after the funeral, I take the fucking sandwiches and stuff because we got too much stuff, and I'm the only one that did anything. Michelle didn't show up and just decided she was going to walk away because Pat drew a line and said she's responsible for everything and Scott gets to do nothing. But then she walked away. I asked Becky because Becky and I did it. Becky Joe and I did everything because Michelle refused to participate. She had already lied, cheating, and stolen my mom's gold and shit. And of course, I'm accused of that because I was thrown out of the car in the rain, and Pat said I couldn't take it. So all my personal belongings were locked up. He didn't have the goddamn grace to give me my food and my belongings, my personal toiletries that were in the car that day. What a son of a bitch you are. And not my grandmother. I'm talking about the fucking nasty. You're just a piece of shit. So that's the truth. That's how I feel. But I'll forgive you if you ask for it, if you actually truly seek it. So having my buddy Ed come up to the door with my Theracane, here it is right here. This is actually the actual apparatus that I left at the funeral home. And my next door neighbor is asked to bring it. I'm out of my freaking my suit and tie and pants, and I'm in underwear with just a shirt on, and the tie is gone. I made me still around my neck. And Pat, I see him as this guy knocks on the door. I open the door with the cracked open. I'm like, yeah, here, thanks, hey, thanks. Pat is coming up in the blind spot behind him and tries to push through the door. I put my foot on it with barefoot at that, with the sock on it, and it stubbed my toe. I lost the toenail because of it. I can show you that. It literally bled and I lost my toenail. It's all fucked up because he stubbed my goddamn toe with the door. Now, this is what I texted him. I said, as I'm changing clothes for my evening plans, you affronted me by doing exactly what I asked you not to do, showing up unannounced. Seriously, I'd already asked him if he wanted to stay there. He said no, he's staying at the house that was full of mold. So seriously, are you not going? Are you not doing this out of spite for me? Otherwise, it might appear a total lack of respect. I said, could we talk tomorrow at 10:30 a.m.? Why couldn't you wait? Mom's funeral just happened. I just left the funeral. I need time after you telling me last night at dinner I have to get out of my house immediately and get mom and my stuff out of storage so you could liquidate everything of hers. Also, I need and storage was the garage. That was the garage. All my stuff was in storage. He knew that, wouldn't pay for it with her stuff. It was all in the garage now. Also, I needed to find a place to go and look into government assistance. How does that benefit me exactly? You're telling me that I have to go and bend the knee to a federal government, 28 USC 300215A, United States of Federal Corporation. It's in Washington, D.C., the territory there. And if I'm saying I'm a citizen of the United States and I'm bending the knee to benefits and privileges, I have no God given unalienable rights. You're pimping me out. You don't have a right to do that. And you're in a position of fiduciary responsibility. And I'm telling you, I'm begging you, I'm literally saying you don't belong there because you're doing it fraudulently, but you've convinced the courts otherwise through fraud. And now you've got guns in my face, taking my belongings away from me. Is that right? Way to go, Uncle Pat. I never disrespected you till then. Mm-mm. Not until you started telling me I had to get out of my mom's house. Till I had no say in anything and you didn't care what was going to happen to me. That was what you said. Let's go. Even Becky said that night, stop it, Pat, stop it. What are you doing? Relax. I asked for access to the house this afternoon to get needed documents and other beneficiaries' benefits. You said you had personal business and could not let me in tonight. I didn't have personal business. I was going out. I was going to go listen to music at the square with my buddy. That's all. And a girl was supposed to meet us there. I was hoping to see a girlfriend there. Just hoping. Didn't know. There's plenty of other people I would have interacted with, and maybe even you guys had you been a family member and true to your damn heritage. So you said you had personal business and I could not let me in. I told you the week before you could stay there the whole fucking time. But I stopped by and you were there, obviously, so that wasn't true. You were drinking, by the way, too. So don't try and get around that. You were drinking at the funeral home and you accosted me. I could smell your breath, and Becky's as well. Becky Joe smelled like a fucking beer. You need to start working with me quickly. Not sure how else to say it. I need time in the morning between 10 a.m. and noon. All right. Well, I texted him. This is literally him texting me, and I responded, okay. And then that's literally right after he texted me because this was 7:42. So at 9:47 p.m., he puts, this is for the record, I want you to see right underneath it. I need access 10 a.m. and I put okay. I need access 10 a.m. and I put okay. All right. And then I put, I can't even change out of my motherfucking clothes. My morning clothes. Get the fuck out of here. Thinking to myself, how is it not okay that he just said, I'll do it at 10 a.m.? So here we are. And that's at 9:30 p.m. on Monday the 7th when he asked. All right. And on Tuesday the 8th at 8 p.m. What? I'll be there at 10 a.m. Are you going to let me in? Question mark. Now this is a whole nother day later. All right. I say okay again. I'm like, I'm no longer in town. I literally put, okay, actually you may have put that. I didn't know because this is 10, so I don't know what time that message is. It doesn't tell me. It looks like that's in a line. All right. However, I'm no longer in town. This was yesterday. Did as much as I could. Will be limited info I have. So be it. It's what it is. Not at all being transparent about this with me. I was never your intention. Holy cow. Get out of the way, Scotty. Here comes Patrick Moody. And I have to do this. I don't have to do this. Oh, transparent and full of bull. This is pure disregard and disrespect for the scenario that played out when Don clubbed my family like a baby seal. All of it, you are eating it up every moment of power you shockingly wield with irrational vengeance for us. This is not okay. Okay, is this the trust now expressed? Now, after both of us asking you to no, TK to hold off, asking you to hold off. I put TK there. Michelle and I both sent you an email 9:20 this morning asking you not to express the trust or do anything until you show it to us, whatever you have, and we've had 72 hours with which to review this. How wrong of you. Everything you did to me, smacking. So my mom had thrown away the trust. And right now, he's saying that she didn't throw it away. On the phone, he had told me that no, she sent him it and he has the trust. Hang on. I got three dogs. Here. What you call three dog night. I'm stuck in a bedroom. I have a bedroom. So, that's where me and mom's three dogs have been for the last year. And, a couple of them have been having health problems. And even this guy should be seeing a groomer and have some better things going on. But I just have nothing but love for him, and that's all I can do is take care of him because I've been abandoned, and so are they. So, needless to say, let's get back into this Pat Moody truth expose and what the devil and the deeds he did are. So, how wrong of you. Everything you did to me, smacking my head. Evil shit here, Patrick Moody. Done out of spite. Tell me different. Go whine to someone else. I'm tired of it. You're stealing from me and you want me to whine to someone else. This is before a court or anybody has given you any position of any fucking way, shape, or form means whatever. And you've already been told by Dean and Dean they're not going to represent you. And they said they're not going to get a writ of execution to get rid of me. And you go and get a what? Unlawful detainer, pretending that I wasn't living there as my mom's caregiver, full time beneficiary owner of the property, as I was her property. She was mine. As we told the courts prior to this, I belonged to her. She belonged to me. Everything belonged to me that was hers. She said that. She knew that. That's how we had actually prefaced our whole lives at this point because we knew the fucking state of state was fraudulent. And the only way that you're secure in this country is in your properties, papers, and effects through the Constitution. You have to be one another's property. Can't touch it then. Not reading your text messages, Scott. You will be blocked again, and I will not discuss anything with you on my text or email. I will fulfill my role to your mom. Mom didn't ask you to. She didn't tell you anything except get out of her house when you took those pictures, and you fucking know it. You did. She didn't want you to have those pictures. She didn't want you to have them at all because she, like she said, she was never going to see him again. She was so pissed at me that I let you in and let you take them pictures, and I even showed the other ones. I just thought mom wasn't in her right mind enough to fucking make the decision. And I made a bad decision that made her mad at me because of you, because I tried to bend the knee to you once again, as I had several times before. Like when you came down to visit Don and then went and told Mary and Todd Brandy off that I was dangerous. And you told Don to call the sheriff and have me arrested if I got in his way. They said it, and Don said it. I asked Don about that, and he said, "Yeah, that's what he said." I said, "Why? Why would he say that?" He goes, he just thought you were big and just a bully." I said, "Don, you've been bullying me the whole goddamn time." He goes, "Well, that's some might see it that way, but I was just looking out after your mother." But you didn't know that my mom had screwed me, and now you know that my mom had screwed me on the commission. I've even shown you proof of it. Here's Larry's email. Remember that? Well, your mom hasn't been so honest with me either, and that's why we're in the trouble we're in. Oh, that's what I told you initially when you got involved in my motherfucking business, Donald Lee Nogay. So he knew it, and his sons knew it. That's why they gave my mom that half of the house and gave me the Kia to avoid me taking him to court under federal claims of abuse of a disabled person, Pat, an actual codified, reasonably expected by everyone to be taken care of and treated with kid gloves, disabled man here. Fully fucked up spine, you dick. So documents I'm obliged to send. Besides that, you will not hear from me. Good luck. You don't care about the truth. You're off on your own tangent. How pathetic. The golden rule you missed altogether. Good job, Pat. You have a duality about your character that allows you to double speak with me, talk straight with others, and then have you been such an agent of chaos in the family? That's not right. You know better, but you just don't possess that solid moral upstanding value to keep from trying to fuck with you. Keep on trying to fuck with me over. Is this the case over and over again? Is this the case? Do you have it in for me, Uncle Pat? Why? I've never been rude to you. You are wrong for this. God bless you. Just the same. I hope that God keeps you safe and warm in the palm of his hands. You and yours, August 9th, 2023. Mom's been gone a couple weeks. Notwithstanding reality, but say I was chased out of the funeral home the other day and hope you have a great day at Disney. It seems we can obviously tell what's important to you. The this that wouldn't be me or my mother at all. It's all about your agenda and what you want or what you want to do, which is repugnant at best to the truth. Take a look in the mirror. Uncle Pat, you're just wrong. Cheers. This may end up becoming the darkest family in YouTube saga. So thank you and have a great day. Are you choosing unilaterally to communicate with Michelle and ignore my position here? How would you like to see a video compiled? What while I was in the hospital with your sister, this may show you piled onto what you piled onto. Let me know how we can move forward, protecting me against all of your disregard for my feelings and my loss of my mother's effect on me. Sadly, it plays like a Greek tragedy. It's up to you. None of you have the right to push me around and bully me. This is within weeks of my mom dying. I mean, this is February or August 9th. None of you have the right to push me around, bully me into anything without having representation and knowing what my rights are. It's just wrong, period. And I'm owed many apologies by a lot of you. You need to send my mother's ring back, NDA, na- immediately. If Michelle stole my personal blender and took my bowls, took whatever else she wanted, now I'm gonna now now she's got mom's ring. I don't see a motherfucking piece of paper that says that you or she has the right to do this, that says this is right to do. Okay, and then I put the videos. There's a couple videos that this is Michelle's going through. This is Michelle. This is her going through mom's. This is me showing. I pulled her gold out of her bag. She's getting ready to leave, and I got the gold out of her bag. I literally, I came and showed it to the camera, but the video didn't catch the auto. So that's literally the video I have, and there's other videos too that I had of that, and all mom's gold diamonds Michelle Richard took mom's last hours while mom was still in the hospital alive, Michelle had ransacked this jewelry. This was actually grand theft because mom hadn't taken her last breath yet. This was videotaped before mom died. Not this, but her going through the gold and having Brittany go over there and try and go get some of the jewelry, and Brendan there ransacking the house. That's all videotaped prior to the 23rd when mom died. And you knew this, Pat. I had told you and showed you this happened. Now, Michelle, having been on edibles when my mom died, or when my mom was in the hospital coming out of surgery, they had her in a paralytic. And because her kidneys were working, and you'd have known this if you'd been there every day like I was, most people's kidneys work 1 drop per second, 60 drops per minute. Mom's were down to about 1 drop per 4 or 5 seconds, an average of 10 to 15 drops a minute. Okay. So the paralytic was going to take a day to come off of her. And mom was groggy, wasn't opening her eyes, was like this and Michelle says, "Yeah, she's not gonna make it." Whoop, pulls the plug. I'm like, "Wait, what?" I'm literally with my nephew, her son, my godson Ryan's right across from me. When we find out Michelle, high on gummies, was eating marijuana gummies, and had given them to her boys who didn't have a license in the state of Florida to have them. But she passed them out like she was a goddamn doctor in the ICU. Yes, she did. And what she do? She took them herself, and then decided that she had power, the medical power of attorney. So she's going to pull the plug on my mom. We wouldn't hear her last words at all. That's what happened. Yes, that is. That's exactly what happened. So, edibles being passed around to the boys 45 minutes before Michelle decides. Pat knows this. Before Michelle decides mom's too far gone, not even going to let her wake up after the surgery and the meds, the paralytic she's on. Sadly, they're all attacking me, and this is what I've gone through. Last 3 minutes is telling mom what Michelle had done. That's what I tried to tell her. My mom's couldn't even hear. She rolled her eyes. I hope she didn't hear. She demanded I get Michelle out of her house. I was so sad. It was so sad. I did tell my mom, and she rolled her eyes, and I said, "Do you want her out of the house?" And mom shook her head. She's like, and she was out of it. I don't know that I'm catching something, but I think she was saying yes. She was on dope making the decision. Wow. That's what Michelle did. The last fucking minute, my mom's decision making was given to a fucking dumbass decision. Scott, please let Sue Dean and I know you are going to cooperate. Need to know today. Thanks. This is Monday, August 14th. You needed to cooperate with me. However, you assumed that you knew what you did not know. You were a bully to me at best. Now you want to push me. Now, this is Dean and Dean he's trying to threaten me with, or trying to tell me I need to cooperate with. Now you want to push me around with fulfilling your promise to show me all the by without fulfilling your promise to show me all the documents as soon as you talk to the attorney. Because Dean and Dean didn't have the wedding signature. Mom had removed the wedding signature from them because she wanted nothing more to do with the trust. Now, Pat says that Danielle, you'll hear this. Pat says Danielle was going to attest to this, but Danielle's Michelle's friend. So I can't fight what an attorney's going to lie or testify to under oath or not. But I don't even believe she'll show up. I just know that I was just forced and coerced into the behavior of abandoning my rights for a while. I had no money. They took everything away from me, even my belongings I could have sold, my garage sale stuff. You'll hear about that. You needed to cooperate, blah, 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 blah. Instead, you maligned my character, ruined a funeral celebration of life, demanding keys to a house you never even visited while my mom was there, as with Don Moody, not truly trusting you at all at the end either. Neither did my mom. Put in her own words, your lack of accountability and, on actions when called upon the last year of her finance as her financial advisor. You ignores the calls and blocked me and let Jaffia get foreclosed on. Now you realize Don had to give mom his share of the estate. Otherwise, he worried I would sue his estate after he had passed. Two of his sons, Brian and Bruce, signed affidavits stating Don lied and ruined my good name. Now, you wish to go further and that decade-old lie of his. Stop it this minute and correct yourself. And as a nice guy I am, I probably will forgive you as I do everyone. Ask Larry. Here's Larry's phone number, 294. Michelle wrecks her Volvo drunk as fuck, and I save her from the total wreckage and the sheriff inquiry, only to find out the next day she calls Progressive on her 21-year-old son and the driver as the driver of the car she totaled and ruins his life in college, his Uber job, smacking my head. Attack me some more, Pat. You're acting like a demonic force of Satan himself, Uncle. Do you not know what I have done for all of us? No, obviously not. Maybe you should ask. However, you think you got this all figured out, right? Goodbye. So, scratched her name out on the papers, and it's obvious she wanted it gone. So look at this. This is actually where my mom on the paperwork had scratched Pat's name out. This is not my hand that did this. So Pat knows this. This is um what day is this? Monday, August 14th. Not even 20 days after my mom has passed on the appointment. Pat She has scratched his name out because it's just me and my sister now. She has scratched Pat's name out in two separate spots. I didn't do this. My mother decided she didn't want to trust anymore, didn't need a trustee. You fucking dick. No, you should have been taking that as you no, you should be taking that as you've been ridiculously rude to me. Okay, is that I'll take that as a no. I showed him this paper and he says, I'll take that as a no. I showed him that picture and he says, I'll take that as a no. That's that picture. I'll take that as a no. No, you should be taking that as you've been ridiculously rude to me and inconsiderate. He's trying to give my share of the inheritance away. And that's all he did. He gave Michelle to her and her boys, mine to the Catholic Church, to a foster brother, to his kids. Go find a place to live, is what he told me. Go get this is I'm writing this to him. Go to security, get out. Go get on Social Security and get out of the house. Give me the keys. You got problems. You don't have any money in the bank. What's wrong with you? Why are you living off your mom? Why are you such a low life? Why are you making me ask for the keys? Why are you making me feel like you obviously that's obviously you feel obviously when all I did was take care of my mom. That's obviously how you feel when I low life and you're making me ask and that's how you feel, obviously, when all I did is take care of my mother. You're wrong. You're so wrong. Enjoy your karma. Try and harm me, a man, causing loss, injury, or harm, while I did nothing but trying to save your sister from that very same thing you wish to deploy. Smack in my head. Family values, right? Okay, I'll let Sudine know. I'll copy you. Do you really think that you have my back, or do you think that you are conspiring against me? I don't feel like this may be a trusty day song tour when a trustee day son tort is what I was saying. A trustee day son tort when you're not even a trustee. There's been executive days on tour. There's been an executive days on tort. I have speech to text and I can't see, so I didn't have my glasses, and I half of this is didn't portray right, but executor days on tort, this is fraud. It's just fraud in and of itself. When you're working off a copy backwards, trying to administer the estate that belongs to me and my sister 50-50, I made that apparent to her, and that's what my mom's wishes were before Don Nogay got involved. And after Don Nogay, if you don't so if you don't it here, if you do it here, if you don't do what she wanted here, you're gonna have to deal with your own sins. Fuck off, Don Nogay. I don't know who Susan is. Doesn't have anything to do with me or my life at this point. I'm hoping because this is called. I'm hoping never because this is called acquiescence, which I do not consent. You are trying to get me to go along with this. Fuck off. Once again, you're creepy. Video processed and taking care of the house, which I did all along. Pulling weeds, mowing yard, edging, trimming bushes, and I'm owed a lot of money, period. Mom was planning on taking me on a trip around the world on vacation to make up for what she did with Michelle, and to be sorry about a bus that Michelle stole, and to take care of me for making her whole life easy. But you wouldn't know that because you didn't pay attention, and all it was all written out and explained. Pay attention at all, but it's all written out and it's all explained. It's easy to see. Even Larry knows. He even emailed me my mother stating as much. Leaving me alone, leave me alone unless you're going to be honest with me in front of the show in front in a front and show me the paperwork you promised me 10 days ago. It's repugnant that you're acting in a way as if I have no say or concern in this period. You have to control this. It's absurd for you to you're actually over your skis. I believe you are actively pursuing unlawful exchanges with me and others. Seriously, stop it. Descent tort. If there is a trust and the key term associated with your behavior is the key term associated, descent tort is the key term if there isn't a trust. Are you reading your emails? No. Well, you might want to. It's all spelled out for you there. Are you a thief? Show me a trust, asshat, or fuck off. You have done nothing but disrespect me and my mom. So kiss my ass. Seriously. My mom lost her house because he didn't come in and help her. And I knew how to help her. We just needed her to agree to get an attorney. I knew what to say. I knew there's a collateral cash account that had to be opened up. But that motherfucker, Pat, you son of a bitch, you wouldn't help your own sister, you motherfucker. My mom died with a foreclosure on her record, and she had impeccable credit her own life. And that's what killed her spirit right there, you cunt. So if you cared about your sister at all, you would have cared about the man who cared about her and gave up his own life for the last 2.5 years to care for her and gave up all my fucking friends, all my connections, all my advantages to be here for your sister. And you act like that's no big deal. Yeah, F off. And then you're sitting here showing your collusion. You're sitting there offering me a bus that's half mine and it's already destroyed by hiding it from me and not caring. That's very, very well documented. And mom wanted nothing to do with her because of it. But you're offending me. You're offering me a bus that ruined my family because Michelle's offering me a bus that already half belongs to me, smacking my head with a hammer because you're a moron. The original is in the house. You would not let me get in to get a copy. I can email you a copy, but according to Michelle, you already have one. Do you want me to email you what I have? So he's saying I have an original, but mom went through 5 different iterations and she never gave him an update of it and she finally threw it away. So he didn't have anything but the 2013. He didn't have the 2014. He didn't have the 2016. And then he ended up getting a hold of the 2016. But there was even a 2018 after that. So then she threw it away. I mean, all these things weren't reported to him, or were they? I don't know. I have them here. I can show you. But I was thrown out in the rain and all my stuff dissolved to strangers and sold for private personal gain, Pat. Your bloody sister, Becky, has my belongings, my curio cabinet, other things of mine, my chairs. Who's got my golf cart? Mom gave me that because she couldn't drive anymore. You bastard. I'm ready to fight. That's why you're hearing from me now. I'm studied up, man. There ain't nobody taking nothing away from me. That's why you got me here now. Because, well, it's been a year. You did me wrong. And I made sure in the last year I studied every day, all day long. And now, guess what, Pat Moody? You have to pay. There's no other way. And so will Mike Norvell, because there's what is it? A 42 USC 1983 deprivation of rights under color of law claim coming? Big time, dummies. I have it on the message that Michelle said she is going to sell the bus, whether I like it or not. Okay, so the original house, you wouldn't let me in to get a copy. I have it, whether I like it or not, because the title's in her name, which she did fraudulently. I can do nothing about it. Well, sure, otherwise. Literally, she said, Mom, when I told Mom that she said that, she went ballistic. You're playing on the wrong team, and you should check yourself before Satan actually reaches out of hell and grabs you by the ear. Infidel, go away from me. I never knew you. That's what you're going to hear from God when you take one of his sons. That I've always been good. Ask Larry to tell you the truth, how much I've lost because he stole it from me. He unlawfully converted my property, my equipment, $380,000 worth of drying equipment into his name. He did it by getting a equity line of credit on it for $250,000 on my $380,000 worth of dry ease drying equipment for storm damage. Yeah, I lost all that and the money it would have generated too, because he drove my girlfriend crazy, laughing at me and laughing at her, and she jumped off a building. Yeah, in 2009. That was nice. So, no, I want you to stop pushing a decade old narrative Don Nogay said that fucked me sideways when I pull all this into the family. I broke my back for Larry and Michelle, my mom and dad, Don Nogay. I did stuff for everybody. I did it for the fucking I did it for stuff for everybody. I did for Scanlon's when we had the big party for Aunt Joanne. That's just normal to me. You don't seem to look at the tail of the tape or the truth that matters. You have your own narrative and the truth be damned. So I don't give a shit what you do. You already fucking proffered a bogus statement and many, many lies. Besides, I want to see a wedding signature, not a copy. Michelle tells me you're trying to recreate a copy because mom destroyed the original when she went to McManus and McManus. She pulled the original, I would expect, from Dean and Dean. So if you're trying to recreate the trust, you're actually over your skis committing more fraud. Like I said, on service as fraud, it was Dean and Dean would be participating in it. That's how fucking stupid she should be. She's sending me foreign agent she should how stupid she should be sending me a foreign agent registration on her and everyone on her firm. I should suspect, so I got her bond number and her husband's. I might have to just go ahead and request it myself. Is a wedding signature. In the email, you say you are not reading. Michelle offered you full title to the motorhome. I never saw that. Full title. And you would get 5,000. Michelle's holding five. She sold the bus and not even giving me the money that she sold it for. And 5,000 later, after the trust bank account can support it, and you would get 5,000 now and 5,000 after the trust bank account could support it. If you would cooperate. No, he told me he would give me $5,000 to get out, and I could take the shitty bus that Michelle wouldn't fucking sign over to me, so I could sell it or fix it up and have it myself. And mom asked her to sign it over to me because mom knew she ruined the fucking bus. She kept it away from me for 4 years, hiding it, and literally left the fucking thing leaking into it. So it was mold ridden and everything. And I already have issues with my health. You want me to stay in a moldy bus? Get out of here. When Becky Lee asked you to help with all their stuff, so he says, okay, look here. In the email I sent you, Michelle Foss. So if you would cooperate and leave the house within 2 weeks, if not, we start the writ of ejectment. So here he says, if not, we start the ejectment process, writ of ejectment. You were given until 3 p.m. today. You were given until 3 p.m. today. Read your email. So here we are on what appears to be a thread that goes to hell, Monday, August 14th. So Monday, August 14th, he says, we will start the writ of ejectment process. You were given until 3 p.m. to respond. Read your email. He knew you had to do a writ of ejectment, but they in turn did a unlawful detainer. In Florida, that's a violation of statute because, well, I would have been considered a beneficiary, not a tenant, dickhead. So when Becky Lee asked you to help with all their stuff and their finances, why did you turn your back on her only to come here and stick your nose where it does not belong? I am so sick of you acting like you know it all. For fuck off. Call me an asshole and be a fucking man. Call me asshole and be a fucking man about this, Patrick. You are childlike in your deception. I tried. You're blocked. You are blocked again. Certainly. You saw the stuff Michelle stole. You saw the video. You said you'd go after her, and yet you're still after me. And you have no pure intention. You're a deceiver. You are an infidel. Go away from me. I never knew you, period. I can only forgive you. You learn to forgive when you learn to forgive yourself and stop acting like a child, Pat, as if you should harm other people. What a ridiculous life you must lead to think to think they're so insignificant that you have to act out to harm others to feel good about yourself. That's disgusting. People like you disgust me. That's what your mother would call would call a good old fashioned mirror in front of you. That's what your mother would call a good old fashioned mirror in front of you is a mirror. And by the way, grandma did not want you guys to sell the farm. She said that in her own words. And I don't care that you came from her room, and I came from my mother's room. Womb is the statement. But you're acting like you have some say in all this, and she actually tried to write you out of it. You can see that in the picture. And you're not accepting the most recent things that happened. You're trying to act as though things that happened when Don Nogay was around, and you can punish me with them. You're a sorry ass excuse for a family member. So I digress. I never knew you. I came from her womb. Get the fuck out of here. This gets fucking out of here. This gets the fuck out of here. You are sick. The mobile home is waterlogged because she wouldn't allow me to access it to tape it up. She has kept the fucking thing away from me. Ryan and I had to jump the fence in the storage yard to try and protect the bus. It's half mine, but she didn't even let me protect it against the weather here in Florida. She's evil and all along seems to cut out of the same cloth. You seem to be cut out of the same cloth. You too. Scott, the trust cash account is insignificant to meet expenses and current liabilities. We will be canceling the services not necessary, letting you know that the gas service will be shut off tomorrow. If you want to continue service, you will need to go down and put it in your name. Then they put it in Michelle's name. I told him if he shut off the gas that I would file charges on him, all right, because I'm a disabled man. Then they put it in Michelle's name. Then she cut it off anyways. So they actually did fuck with it. Then when I turned it on in my name, they used my social security card, gave it to the realtor who sold the house out from under me unlawfully, and the realtor proffered my social security number to People's Gas, Tico People's Gas, to get the account shut off and pay the final payment. And I need to know the account number and who paid that payment and who authorized that payment because that's fraud in commerce, and they owe me an explanation for that. And somebody should explain why they were using my social security number in commerce for real. So moving right along, you have an obligation to maintain the status at this time. The variation from the status quo will be further willful conspiracy to harm, defraud, cause loss, injury, or harm to me, and see yourself as a high tower with no desire to be transparent. Regardless of your claim 100%, you have defined our relationship by blocking me and attacking me at every occasion you were able. You should ask yourself why. Are you in so are you so in your feelings and butthurt over me asking what right or protection I may have? You have decided that this doesn't mean anything. So you go ahead and you do that. Thus, the hot water and other systems will be affected. Okay, harming me has become your primary objective. Why would you be so sadly dismissive, a prick to me? Don't do tell me. The fact the walk yourself is on, the path you're on is a treacherous one, and false witness lies, but you do your thing, cowgirl. You certainly have come to me without any respect or reason. Just falsehoods, innuendo, and belittling behavior. Thanks again for your help. With this behavior, you are to send me the death certificates post haste, or I will have the help of counsel. Will be making with the help of counsel. Will be making a claim against you as a trustee descent tort and not of a non-trust, and will be paying anything for you and the malicious intent afoot. Good luck, Patrick Family Moody, and yours too. You look at how you're teaching your own kids to ignore reality. They will see it all play out soon enough live. Thus, they are able to use their own discretion as to what to believe. The first thing you have wrong is that this thinking that you are in the driver's seat. Keep that up and maybe determine to yourself and others. So my advice was thus will be 50-50, or I may have to go for more as the pain and suffering you cause is mentally, emotionally, and physically challenging, let alone spiritually. You should say some prayers. I am for you as Don Nogay's corruption driven fool know not what you do. Sometimes you need to stop and correct yourself, Patrick. This is the time when it matters most. GSR. Sorry for the inconvenience of protecting my rights. Will Mary understand what an ass you're being? Ask her or tell her that you refuse to hear me at all. I bet she and the girls must be familiar enough with that treatment. Money on our minds, not mine. There is plenty to share, but no, no, not by you. A thief in the night and a liar. So some might say, as yet you have yet to send me the very first thing I asked you for. The first, not to respect me. Let's see the conspiracy. As you're aware, your malfeasance and deliberate acts of wrongdoing to me, you'd better turn the paperwork from dignity back over to me. It doesn't belong to you. That is fucking sick. That's what you're on. That's what you were doing on your computer in the corner at the funeral home. You're sketchy, uncle. Seriously, you don't want to have, and you don't have a right to do what you're doing. You're a you are fortunate enough that I am a forgiveness driven being. However, the state of Florida corporation might not see this as what it is. Might see this as what it is: a trustee de son tort. Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness are not rights but protections from this bullshit. As Uncle Jim Scanlon would have said, "Give us a break." Nevermore will I be driven to the likes of you or my sister, two morally repugnant forces against me. A few years from now, you're going to have to look back in shame, knowing you made it all go wrong when you got a wild Don No Gay hair up your ass. I wonder if you're going to realize how dismissive and hurtful you deliberately are to me. Most narcissistic personalities have no clue that they will how much harm they cause. To them, it never matters. The end justifies the means mentality. They always see their own perception as relevant more than any perspective. Interestingly enough, how the world is transformed into an evil place by acts like these of self exalted people. How dare you forget Jeremiah 3:1? As the last, this all calls to mind the weeping prophet, sadly. It's is this Dunning Kruger? That's my alma mater. You know, you say that you're going to send me the trust, and you don't, and then you say Michelle's got a trust from you, and then send me something that's older than what I have sent you, and you're lying to me, stating that mom gave you it last week. You're just over your skis, and you're a liar. Sending me documents that you said would have 2 weeks ago. So you're going to help like the government. He never read any of this, but so you're going to be able. He called me at this point, I think, a few times, and we talked, and then I texted him back because he would say quick words and then hang up. So with this as your focus, in the attempts to harm the family, jackass, are jealous. There's no need for you to worry about. There's plenty. There's the money. There's plenty, but you're harming me and taking down the informed one, dumbass. Michelle and I are unified together before you got into her head. Again, emailed you both asking you not to go to the attorney or seeking anything to express a trust if you weren't until you gave us 24 hours, 32 hours, because we knew that you cheated us out of making decisions ourselves. Just like Michelle cheated mom out of making decisions on whether or not she was ready to go to hospice while she was high on fucking pot gummies and you or something else. You fucking sick people. You guys are something else. But not so fast. They're slick. Remember? You're done fucking up now. It's showtime. I asked you today if you want a copy of what I have, even though you already have it. You said you didn't want it. Do you want a copy? Original? Not a facsimile. Okay, I'll get the original document to you once I have it within the 60 days allowed by Florida law. So he knows there's 60 days allowed by Florida law to get an original. Take a good look at yourself. So what he's doing is he's playing me so I didn't proffer what I had forward. I was just looking for help and I was just hurt over my mom. So I didn't know what to do. I was looking for family to help and they wanted to screw me instead. Take a good look at yourself, Pat Moody. There's something wrong with you. I am always here for everyone. With a broken back, you act like I'm able to play Superman for all. You have yet to try and be reasonable or respectful with me at all. Thus you have treated me. This is still in August. This is the first month after she died, not even a month. Thus you have not treated me like a generous man I am. You knew me. You never knew me, yet I suspect you will. Insecurities take away your man card, bro. You need to you need to evaluate the way you treat others. Shady as fuck. So I'm gonna get together a retainer for deposit of the will and representation of my interests and many potential misinterpretations of future reference. I hope things are well for you. We seem to be missing the point here altogether. Here to help. Who? When? How? You're free to discuss your feelings, but to malign my character based on innuendo, I suspect just telling you Oliver needs to be seen by a vet is going to make you feel some sort of way about me. Amazing. The dogs all need more than just love I can provide, sustenance and care. The flip flopping of foods for dogs based on your deliberate actions to take control from afar left you unwilling to be rational. I say 11:30, you say I'll be there at 10 a.m. I say, Pat, no, 11:30. Or you say, give me the keys, but you're just trying to harm me as well as these animals with your own ignorance and biases. I will have no choice but to move forward in exposing all of this. Oliver is sick, and you are giving Michelle money to turn gas on her name, conspiring harm, conspiring to harm the one that has done the most for each and every one all along. Oh, but wait, do you even know at 30 minutes at, in 25 years conversation with me? It's all you've had in 30 years, 25 minutes of conversation with me. Like in 25 years, 30 minutes conversation. And Michelle, you gave her money out of the estate to put uh gas account from Tico in her name in a county she didn't reside in at a house that I lived in taking care of my mom. That's conspiracy to defraud me out of my own position in life. As a so-called trustee, self-appointed, that is, um, you're just you have no right to embarrass and defamatory statements aside from somebody who obviously doesn't know me at all. Check your timing, Pat. You're fucking kidding me. Do I threaten you or prone from a prone position? My God, you have a mixed up view and decide who I was in advance of ever getting to know me. So be it. You're a sick dog. Have been totally disregarded by you while on a mission. This is August 17th. While on a mission, you're on a mission to destroy my life and psyche. FedEx the death certificate to me overnight for tomorrow. This is simply to catch up on already disregarded dysfunctional place your actions have brought us. This issue has to be addressed as priority. Michelle and I can manage the affairs. You're meddling in some sort of personal vendetta and vendetta towards her too, because he never liked the fact that she got married, got divorced. He he was against that and wouldn't talk to her, and actually didn't want her to be around his daughters at all. Dignity was not supposed to give those to you, and it could become an issue for all parties if not returned post haste. Why all the hatred, Pat? I asked Sally James if Grandma and Grandpa would think about all this. She asked how Mark would feel about it, knowing I have an attachment to him, fostered by your own mother. Scotty has a guardian angel. Scotty, you have a guardian angel now, is what your mom always told me, who will look out for you. Mark once said to me, family doesn't mean anything. Family means everything, Scotty. And what are you thinking? That was Christmas 78. You were only seeking to harm me at any cost, even though you know nothing about me. I said Tuesday at 11:30. I still hear you telling people that I refuse to let you in. What a lie. So buck up. Maybe it should kick in the and let you see how hard being there for family is on me. You have no clue how much I've contributed and left on the table. My family has been unfair since the absence of my father. By the way, Will's were plural. Mary Ann's and George's were together. Mom left them both. That's the way she wanted to be. That's why she was changing her name back to Richard. I wish you actually knew her and how hurt she would be by your actions towards me. I'm hurt too in real life, not just for helping my family, however, for helping all I can. If you only knew my talents, where they begin. For in the first place, dearest foe, I wish not to fight, but a lasting light. I only have but one last ember left inside. Let it be cast in hopes of spreading truth through this light. I only ask for that which is most valuable in my estimates is faith, and thus that faith needs a home and a family to flourish. But yet, he who seeks not the glory of God has not led to the mines to my father's house, but to that of another, casting stones without reason and hurtful insults for all seasons. Now I come across a fork in the road. I cry out in faith, my Lord, my family's deceived me. My Father above, how art thou so unwilling to seek truth? There only was one truth all along, but you sought what I cannot seek. You needed to what I therefore I cannot need. I ask you for your love. I see that has always been too much to ask for. Done. Inspired musings, I suppose. Just writing him a little poem to say, look at the talent. In 3 minutes I wrote that for him. And what does it care? The only way forward for you and I is to respect. I have always proffered respect for you. However, the same doesn't seem to flow my direction. If you can't hear me, however, can you help me? If you cannot seem to see me from my personal account and my perspective, why wouldn't I be leery of your claim to be doing this out of goodness of your heart? You have some great way of showing this, in my humble opinion. I am not and have not gone through mom's stuff. Not a fucking thing. So you're going out of your mind without a cause. I believe I know a lot. I I I know a lot. You simply ignore by maliciously attacking me, the good guy here. I love my mom, and I am embarrassed by the onslaught of drama and false statements about how you have been denied access to the house. Truth is, you could not tell me what to do, and the egotistical side of your personality came on like a bull charging. I respectfully left in that agreed tension you caused at the door of the funeral home. Pat, I did not deserve that and was never going to make it okay for you to treat me that way. I was fired the fuck up and kept my cool at best, the best I could. You had no reason or rhyme. You sat there shutting off my mom's account right in the celebration of her life. Again, now, no class at all. Taking a chance to reinspect your actions towards me and total dishonest lack of respect you showed me. Otherwise, it's going to be kick rocks. I knew my mother better than you. You are assuming to presumably be driven by confirmation bias as due to Michelle and her total lack of morals and honesty. I hope you have enough integrity to see I am hurt, wounded, and probably in the most prone position in my life that I've ever been in to this date. And I spent my physiological lot on caring for my mother the past 18 years since my father died. Sad you all chose to ignore these facts. In my father's absence, I cared for Michelle and her family at extreme cost to my own personal status and future and standing among several spheres of influence. I had fostered a family with everything to me, like Mark said, everything. Yet what has gained me is this world. Knowledge, brother, is simple knowledge. This simple knowledge. That is what I've helped others endure. My family, my reward are nothing material, but you will find that I created a lot of momentum that led to other outcomes. Others just placed a game board on the table and asked me how to play. When I'd win, it was always the family that won. I'd leave it all on the field, and it can only grow this way. Love my family, but Don Nogay destroyed the whole thing with his deceit and aimed to take over my father's house for his own. I stopped it, but you don't see it at all. You are not willing to even consider getting to know me. I simply dismissed you. I'm simply dismissed by you for 27 years now and running. You could not take the time. You could have taken the time, but have decided against it all along. I even asked your wife how to reach you and was met with a dismayed look as to what could or may even be worth a try. You are above me in everything you do and lack any regard for my rights, feelings, or expectations of fairness and respect me and respect. You simply put simply put you don't like me. This is why I am persona non grata at your table, brother. Because of this, I have chosen to push in your seat at my table. I pray to God he sheds his light that I may see about it abound in such darkness. I pray that you are all working to seek truth and not the agendas. If we all have hope, if not, we'll spend our days in regret and failures. So here, I show him the wills. This is my mom. She left wills behind in the envelope that says wills, and I send him the picture of that. Okay, so I tried to help you, and your response was "fuck off." I asked your mom to do this. I was asked by your mom. She handed me the trust, and I had it in my filing cabinet ever since. The same copy the attorneys had on file. No, it's not. He had a 2013 copy that his daughter got. Casey went into the drawer and got it, or Courtney went into the drawer and got it. All right. Um, if you have a document that shows otherwise, please show the beneficiaries and the attorney so we can understand. Short of that, I have legal responsibility to execute your mom, the beneficiary. It doesn't matter to me what you think, only what my sister wanted. That's not what your sister wanted, you dumb cunt. In her estate, but that's not yours, but and not yours. It's her estate, not yours. If, with respect to your mom's wishes, you could, if you would, if you would respect your mom's wishes, you would cooperate. I live with my mom. I know what her wishes are. It was that I was going to get the entire amount of the bus. The Cadillac was mine. The golf cart was mine, and I was getting 50% of the estate. She left the wills behind, hers and my father's. They matched. She was changing her name back to Richard. She had changed the Cadillac into Richard. She had taken the half that Don Nogay's sons wrote off to her out of his estate into Richard's name. She had it signed to Mary Ann Richard, not Mary Ann Nogay Trust or anything. I'm not going to respond to your profanity laced text messages and insults. You're robbing me of hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars, and I can't say fuck. Fuck you. I'm trying best to manage the accounts, expenses, estate, and you made this very difficult and caused me a tremendous amount of extra time and effort. I came close to saying heck with this and walk away. You should have. It wasn't your right. We had no right to do this. But that's not my nature. I owe it to your mom. You owed it to my mom to give her pictures back when she asked for her motherfucking pictures back. But you didn't even turn the car around and give her pictures back. Did you? No. So what else did you owe to her? Oh, a little bit of respect and maybe you were the durable financial power of attorney as per McManus's their drafting of everything but a trust because mom didn't want him their fucking trust. All she wanted was her will that she left behind and the durable financial power of attorney and the medical power of attorney, which Michelle exploited while she was high on gummies. See, I know this story back and forth because I'm clear minded. I'm over your shit. I have a pair, and we're going to display them for all to see in front of a magistrate now. So, Mike Norvell, be prepared. Remember that? 42 USC 1983. Yeah, that's you. That's coming for you. If you decide you want to cooperate with your mom's wishes, please let me know. As you are not aware, this was thrown away by her because, as you not aware, this was thrown away because they were Don's wishes, not hers. That's why there were so many renditions, and that's why this was done. Was made to give mom the house. Don was made to give mom the house and give mom the house by me. Track his own grown sons. they will tell you. And what happened? I had the goods on him for falsifying reports on the judicial level and stating that I was somewhere I'd never been. He committed perjury on the record, saying I beat up my mom and I put her in a fucking hospital. I wasn't even in fucking 50-mile range of her. So with notary and documentation, you use a notary, which is you're taking the Secretary of State's oath on when you're using a notary presentment. That's pretty stupid to lie. So that was fraudulent, and my mom blew up. That's why the motorhome got fixed at Scanlon's Auto Body because Don drove it off the road when my mom confronted him while driving down the road. I sent them a document from the hospital, from the security at the hospital, stating I'd never been there, and his entire basis for bringing me in front of a judge was a pure fabrication. And Don had to admit it. That's why he gave me his Kia. That's why he gave my mom half of the house that belonged to him in his estate. Because if he didn't, he was going to go to prison. It was fraud, falsifying all kinds of shit, including my mom's own name. He perjured himself and falsified her name on that affidavit that he wrote. Said it was Marianne Nogay. I'm still asking for a little bit of respect that you understand this was not her wishes, but you don't want to do that. Something old, decade plus. You're going on a decade old plus will. Why would you assume to know her when you haven't even spoken to us about this in years? I try and draw you in, and now you're acting like you're doing something courageous, normal thing, actually going against what her actual wishes were. And I can prove that to you. But you want to just be in defiance of me and push me around and act like you're doing it for a reason, then you don't like me, in fact, as I don't have a seat at your table. Remember, kick rocks, window is closing. You're using what is called confirmation bias to assume anything that you hold is true. The respect is true and respect exactly what she wanted to do when I'm telling you you're 100% wrong and in over your head, Pat. So Pat says, you will have the option to contest the will, which I never did, and the will and the trust in court. That is an option all beneficiaries will have. I would suggest you handle it that way, not my place. Why are you unwilling to show me the original? If you think you are going to recreate the original, because I knew mom threw it away, no way it can be looked at, period. So mom's telling me she got rid of it, and then you're coming in and saying you can't find it, and now you think you're going to recreate it? I'm confused. Why won't you show me the original? And why do you think you have 2 months when Florida, you're supposed to file it within 10 days? Come on, Pat. Be honest with me. This is a product of Michelle's duplicitous nature. If she wasn't trying to do something up underhanded here, mom wouldn't have felt some sort of way about it and backed away from it. But the trip down to McManus and Manus was real comfortable for good reason. And mom possessed in that place, period. Michelle made the decision not to let mom here after come to after anesthesia for surgery. My motherfucking blood boils because of that. But you are more concerned about giving everybody a bunch of money than the facts of the matter of how your sister died a few days early. Nothing can change what's happened, okay? Mom was very sick, true. But you're after me, and that shows. You just you don't know what you do. It's mind boggling, mind boggling. Did you watch any of the tapes of Michelle ransacking mom's house and stealing my own belongings with her son Brendan, who she's teaching to not respect her own dying days, and potentially you all teaching your children to ignore siblings when they have something to say about their mother's death and the handling of it? I think you guys should check yourselves before you wreck yourselves in the eyes of another generation. I'm not saying you are. I'm saying some people might think it is a consideration that should be made. To be good, you got to do good. And I struggle with that, but it's not for a lack of trying. It's a complete lack of people's willingness to recognize what's true and what's just and what's right. Rights, freedoms, and principles. That's all I stand for. And it's a simple math problem here. It's real simple. To me, there's no one paying attention to what's true and what's right, and they're all unprincipled at best. Love you, but I'm reconciled to be treated otherwise. As in, you say you weren't going to ask me to leave for 6 months, but you didn't. You instead told me before the funeral at Cody's. Sad gaslighting. It's a mother is the modus operandi here, Pat. 10 days is filing the will. The trust is not filed with the courts. Reread that. So searching the internet, what you're searching on the internet. Sad you're trying to push and presume all this when you don't have anything other than a 10-year-old document. It was promoted by Don Noga, as you know. He who also as a had no good feelings or intentions towards me. And now that I've told you that I had reconciled the house away from him for my mother and to avoid me taking him to court for fraud, you're going to push the idea that I made in a promise to him and the boys that I would not go after his estate after he passed. Okay, this is going to draw that estate right into the center of this as well. I'm going to draw everybody into the courtroom, and it's going to harm mom's reputation. It's going to harm you. It's going to harm my sister. It's going to harm Larry. It's going to harm the boys because the truth is going to hurt all of them for their dirty deeds. So it's the fact of the matter that will hurt them because they've done wrong. Thus, so be it. Right, Pat? Wow. It's a matter of whether or not I can prove it because I can. It's not a matter of whether or not I can prove it. It's a matter of I can prove it. So it's whether or not I want to. It's the issue. Isn't that what I want to do? Is going to force me into a position where I have to open up this can of worms that makes everybody look like a dirtbag? Pat, you're no exception here. You're propping up the most evil of sirens in this of all this crap here. If dirty is as dirty does, then you get awarded by general nature and close proximity to my loving and blessed sister, the lovely, all her treachery, backstabbing, and lies. So you are keeping good company, my friend, and all I have done is try to protect her from herself for decades now. But you're going to see soon enough the reality of it all, as I have so many times before. And where were you? Ask Michelle or Larry who gave them time, money, and connections, just like I did mom and dad all along. Come on, Pat, seriously, pay attention to who you are trying to hurt here. I have the wills. I have, you have copies, and you tried to get removed from attorney from another hands. What the fuck ever. This is what I would think could be considered fraud, seriously. Scott, why would I do that? Ask yourself, what's in it for me? I'm not the beneficiary, and this is a lot of more work than it should have been. And you assume I can do something different than the documents I have. I can't. If you prove there's something that supersedes these documents, and I'm not the executive trustee, I will be gone in a New York minute. I wish you would, but you can't, or you already would have. Oh, I have the wills, absolutely. You have prevented me access to money. I have cold water and can't cook food. This is madness. What you've done and what you're doing is beyond the pale. The gas is on. Has been. Check the pilot light. No, the gas wasn't on, and it wasn't the pilot light. They wouldn't come out unless someone was there, and I didn't know they were coming out, and no one was there. But keep it on because the court of public opinion is probably going to be your worst outcome of all. I'm disabled. I'm 100% disabled. My back is fucked. Y'all are, well, and I was taking those showers cold. Oh my God. It hurt bad. You have no idea. Prevented this from being moved forward in the proper manner. Do you have gas? It's literally on now. It's literally now. We should be taking this. I it didn't say anything about it. It's literally now we should be talking about this a month after my mom passed, not at her funeral, as you chose to belittle me and badger me. Or does your partner in crime? Why would you care seeing as you as the act of conveyance by gift to Michelle of information and assuming authority like money with trying to sandbag me with Michelle taking out a policy where I live. Okay, Pat, you're just not being clean-handed in this. Do you have gas? Are you under attack, Pat? Are you getting attacked since before the death of your mother? If not, we are not equally yoked in this. Have it your way. That's all you can say, Pat. Am I wrong? Take the mask off. Gas is on, pilot light was out, and there's no hot water. So, do you know how to turn it on? I got instructions on the side of the water heater. He liked that I had instructions. So what if I was to say I wanted your help, just not a cacophony of brutal judgment that comes along with it? The wills I can and wills agree, but the wills are all I can or will agree to. As long as you want to carry a torch for Donald Lee Nogay, you and I will be at odds. He will he would himself ask you to back off, Pat. Please beware of that. It wasn't mom's will or desire. Not sure what that means. Type your text instead of talking them. They're all so confusing. I have no idea what you're saying. Reread it. You'll get the gist. I'm in a lot of pain after moving a bunch of stuff to get the pilot light. Sorry, Unc. Seriously in a lot of pain. Help is welcome. Direction is not. You are not busy. You are too busy worrying about who you think I am to ever get to know me or be able to help me. Judgment says it all. The only problem is that you can't accept me for whatever you want to think I am. That is wrong. There's $100 a month paid to Truist Bank. Looks like a loan payment. Do you know what that was? HELOC, I believe. Do you know what the balance is? I don't know. And then I sent him some information that showed. Hold on. All right. I don't know. Small loan last year. I tried to communicate with you, but you've been yelling at me. Nothing. The communication breakdown. Can't take the levels of stress that you wish to impart on me, Pat. Probate and Illinois rules. All three GVR, GSR born there. Must return there to consider taxes, Medicaid, etc. Blah, blah, blah. Most fi- Okay, truest account equity, $200,000 limit, new balance 33,000, minimum of 2.09% interest. Do you have the account number for the Bank of America credit cards or just the 665? On the phone with them, they will not talk to me quickly without account number. I'm not acquiescing to you doing any of this. You're doing this on your own and haven't proved authority to do anything. So you are over your skis. I gave you the amount, fucking kind, and to be fucking kind. You threatened me over and over again and asked me to expect to be kind. I'm doing that out of my good nature. You will just have to be careful with what you do going forward. There's no doubt about that. Given your extreme difficult job with scheduling conflicts, why shouldn't we have waited on another trustee if we were indeed forced to deal with a trust? You haven't shown me, mom or mom's memory, any respect. Some may say I was completely and utterly embarrassed with your display of the CODs at the funeral home. My good friend and accountant Adam was watching you and was wondering, your uncle's working right now? You weren't. It was shameful and despicable display of disregard, not at all surprising to me. After all we've been through, you have an agenda. Get Scotty. Nice unk. So just put a bunch more stuff there. Got any time to chat? What do you want to talk about? I'm literally owed a bunch of money, keeping the house up, pulling weeds, feeding animals, and you demanded that I give up credit cards and accessibility to payment. Now you fund Michelle Richard, obviously not at all listed properly on anything. Frankly, to their accounts, to take, t- frankly, a their account over my home, taking out accounts over my home. What are you doing? frankly a thief. I really don't want to bring shame on our family and publicly embarrass my sister and posthumously embarrass my mother, but you were ignoring the facts to get Scotty. Again, some might suggest as if you have some sort of vendetta to carry out. I'm not sure what you were thinking, but I know it's all wrong, and you've been forgetting something that I don't want to forget here. Or the loss, injury, and harm taking place here is likely you'll be seen as the procuring cause. So suggest that we try again without you demanding anything of me and you yourself are unwilling to do the same. 60 days in that. Is that how you treat me? And two, you are sharing the two, you're sharing this family information with one and not the other heir. Information, in fact, that is pertinent to my actual daily life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness. Here, you are trying to make a claim that you can harm me without consequences, it would seem. This is this should serve as notice and an opportunity to cure. Thus, my suggestion would be to stop and correct. This was served on the 27th of August, 2023. You are going to communicate with me regarding these matters. And you aren't going to communicate with these matters regarding. You aren't going to communicate with me regarding these matters at all. You assume the authority over me and acting as if in advisory manner from the first call in Scotland. I don't have to tell you anything, right? Whose side are you on? You haven't shown any respect, Pat. This is all you on you. Talking is easy, but you don't. But you want control and obedience. You don't deserve or have coming. Sans any respect, you are free to keep crossing the lines. I don't suggest you have the right to do it or to even be sharing information about it. It's not lawful act you've been undertaking. Uncle, it's a bit at what point do you will you care? Scott, I'm on the side of the beneficiaries. There is a will and a trust. You are 20% beneficiary of the estate once it's liquidated. I have to follow what the legal binding documents state. I have no other choice. You say that they are fraud, but you have not shown any documents to prove this. You have them. If you have them, please share them. Short of this, you will have the courts decide anything less is unfair to all the beneficiaries. So charges going to be filed. Brendan Clark, Michelle stole the property, etc., etc. You tell me your mom gave me this will and trust personally in 2013. The attorneys had the same copy, all right, but mom had thrown them away, and she had removed the copies from the attorney. Her attorney did not have an original. Don Noga era bullshit. Mom tossed in the heap. Sit down. Shit down, Pat. It's wrong. Shut it down. Gonna be a shit show because of your claim and bullshit. Mom never gave you any updates to her desires, but she gave me the wills and she said her wishes were as my father's as well. Were as my father's will as well, I guess. Step to the truth, Pat. There's something wrong with you not being honest with yourself here. Why the get Scotty BS pack? Go to church, man. Want to see the will? Have I have the wet ink? Do you, or are you going to recreate it with your own hand and disregarded trust in substitution for my mother's hand? Don't fucking do it, Pat. Moody. I will never let that kind of bullshit fly. And so you are ready for honesty, or is this your intention? Falsified records? Then please show it so we can end this charade. Abort, Houston. We have a problem with our current liabilities and promises. Transparency is faded. Shut it down. Post haste. It's getting out of control. Cut it out. Seriously, Pat. What are you trying to call my bluff? No. And then I show him the wills, both my mother's and father's, and the notarial seal on it. But it's from 2004. And he says that the trust that she discarded in 2013 is being brought back because it is later than the will. No, she threw away and shows by her actions that she discarded the trust and the name Noge. And he knows that. I told him very much up front. These are discussions my mom and I had. She was changing her name back to Richard. She had opened up an account to fix my teeth at Regions. That was my 10,000. I told you all that. I think it's going to come. GVR, here's Marianne's, here's these witnesses. I don't lie, Pat. Save those accusations for Michelle. Charade over. By the way, this is in August, at the end of August, when I showed Pat the wills. Okay, this is what Mom left in that little package that said wills. And it was the Dean and Dean envelope that crossed out Dean and Dean. And it had Pat's name crossed out in the trust that she had there. It was a copy. It said copy on it, and it had all that crossed out. And then she just threw it aside. It wasn't even with these. It was separate in another folder. So I send him these. I don't lie. Thank you for sharing, but I don't see a date. Looks like that was what your dad and mom did together. No problem. Where's the date? So it matters, as the attorneys will attest to the courts, that your mom created a new will and trust to supersede any will or trust prior to it. In other words, what you have is void. The attorneys can't attest to anything. They didn't have it put forward. Mom destroyed it with her own hand. She wanted her wishes to reflect that of my father's wishes. Is that hard to understand? You're going to try and create something that doesn't exist. My mom disposed of it, and stop the madness, for fuck's sake. Just stop the madness. You're messing with a man, not a fucking citizen or a slave or an idiot. It's all your agenda. I see you, Patrick. Do you? You don't even know yourself. In fact, if in fact you are willing to work with me, and we'd be better off because I can go back and get everything from dad, from everything back for your help, of course, with your help. But of course, you don't believe in the truth and study in the laws and study the trust law and study what's actually going on here. You're just going to believe the attorneys. I guess, smacking my head, Canon 3228 should explain it all. You need to know about that. As I said before, you will have a chance to contest this in court. Never did. When your mom, when did your mom destroy it? And why did she not mention this to me? Well, how did she not mention to you that she had 4 other copies? She had 2 renditions of it, or 3 renditions, since she gave you anything. She wanted you out of it. She didn't trust you. After her own brother, your old brother Don, told her don't trust you. After your sister-in-law Becky said don't trust you. I don't know about Becky saying it. I don't know. Don said it and Brett said it. Becky Lee, I don't know if she said it, but I know she was privy to Don's feelings, and I guarantee she was privy to Brett's. Brett told me so. And I think she was in the room when Don was in his deathbed and he was talking to my mom when he said, "Don't trust Pat Moody." I think that Becky Lee was in the room. Enumeration of birth familiar. Mom was having a lot of problems in her mind over the last 56 years. I'd say more evident in the last 3, but it goes back to 2013 when she had that urinary tract infection, put her in the hospital. Don lied and said that I bared instead of physical problems causing it, the physiological problems, but that I put her there. I beat her up, is what he said. All right. Don's intentions, not mine. Period. So here we are. This trust, not my mom's. Period. This trust came out of Don. All right. But you know this, and you didn't pay attention. You were even called by me down here to come back and to try and reconcile that back in 2013. So here should have gone, or 2014, 2013 it was. It was 2012, the end of 12. I think you were called down here. You eat another holy cookie, okay? You told Becky Joe it wasn't your job. Now it certainly is. When you could have saved Mom's house, it certainly was. And so you should go eat another holy cookie and do some praying, because I think your soul is in question. I'm not judging you. I'm just praying for you and hoping you don't keep going down this path of destruction of the family for your own fucking diabolical desire. Seriously, I didn't eat the trust, i.e., a trust comes out. You're judging me harshly. Just so we are clear, I needed dog food when you were here. So now, weeks later, all I need is cash for food and supplies, etc. So you could send me PayPal or something. Why do you suppose I need to do something? Set up to put the Cadillac in my name, where Mom said it would be as well. It should be, kindly. You told me you bought dog food on your mom's credit card. Do you have any left? Tell me the brand, size, and where you buy it. I'll work on it. Not clear what the question is, or what the response is. I said, no, I'm not going to tell you where. Just send me money. Not clear what the question is, nor the response. I had two questions. Is there dog food? Um, and requested brand, size, and place purchased dog food. I believed it lapsed, so the facility was closed. I tried to take Sammy there as well as Buffalo Ridge, and no appointments were available till 2 weeks out. Fresh Pet Chubs is what we get, what I feed them, and Doc Marty's sometimes. Got on a call. What lapsed the insurance? No, it didn't. What size bag? Where do you buy it? Chicken is up next on the swing, but back and forth between Fresh Pet, between chicken and beef. Winn-Dixie is Old Camp Road. What size bag? It's Chubb. It's refrigerated. It's often get the bag of Imes, 8 pounds, 5. Is Winn-Dixie 820 Old Camp Road? Yes. This one? Yes. All three dogs have insurance where? And this one? Yes, thank you. The store is closed due to the hurricane. Tell me where you can get it. Give me the phone number. And so I give him, I literally text him this. I mean, I haven't gotten any help with the dogs the whole time. I text him, this is, here's the food and stuff. That's what I get. And then I text him he knows exactly what I get. And then I text him, the old Camp Road is closed because of the hurricane. And he says, I can't say, I don't use PayPal. I use Venmo. Give me Venmo account and I'll send you the money. Or wait, I could send PayPal request. Otherwise, I'll probably wait till Friday, I guess, and try and get something with change. Up to you. Send me a request for $40. $40? You stole hundreds of thousands of dollars, you dumb fucking cunt. We don't have enough in the bank to pay bills. Where is this supposed to come from? I'm giving you this all out of my own pocket. I'll carry on my own accord, I suppose. I'm not sure why you put me in this situation. I'm sorry for the inconveniences. I would have stocked up, but you made threats to me if I took care of these needs with my mother's credit card, thus telling me I could count on your help. I could look to you for help. Just saying that was a lie. Not exactly the case now, is it? I never saw the PayPal request from you. I go, well, okay, then I'll call a friend, you fucking cunt. That's what I said. Mary is working to make sure everyone has contributed to Flowers of Scent. I'm on the island of Pat. I'm on an island, Pat. You ought to know you're the one who banished me in the first place. If you want me to tell you something, this is wrong. Congratulations. Why don't you give me the money? Why don't you give the money to someone who needs it? Someone who needs to feed the dogs. Stop the insanity. You're pulling me through. You're putting me through. Glad you could help. Tell Mary, thank you. Okay, just write thank you. Your notes for what we know. I'll assume that you put the money. Okay, just write thank you notes for what you know. I'll assume you put the money, if there was any, into your pocket. I didn't get a fucking dime out of any of this. No, none of the money came to the house. No money. No, a couple cards, but no money. And I just assume you put it in your pocket. I spend a lot of time trying to accommodate your need for dog food, wasted time because you ended up saying I'll call a friend. So just don't ask again. Disabled, taking care of three fucking dogs that all belong to my mom, originated with my mom, and you're going to tell me that? Fuck you. Yep, $20 so we all have dog food for a couple days. But who am I to care about these animals? Maybe McCarthyism is afoot, but you are interested in getting to know me. You are, but if you're interested in getting to know me, you'll have to shed your unbelievably high towered bias towards me. You are free to continue believing what you will, and that's what I'm expecting anyhow. I will send pics of cards I got with addresses tomorrow for you to send thank you cards out if you wish. Those that sent any money only. One, Mary will be happy about that. $20. Okay, thanks. Would you care about would you I forgot there was a $20, but there was a $20 bill and I told him about it. Would you care to know about my situation or my struggles, my complications, my remediations? This is another olive branch I have no choice but to offer you. It would seem you believe you know me by a little communications we've had and others' opinions. From what I read into this, thus maybe we should set aside a few things and just talk a bit. You might find out it leads you to a circle right back home where we should be in the first place. Family is everything. I know this. Mark and Grandma shared this with me. I'm asking you again to vacate the house immediately and permanently unless you're willing to pay. Unless you're willing to do that, there's nothing to talk about. Smart stop. Then how we need to create an account, then he would need to create an account by using your okay. So he wouldn't here's where he wouldn't pay for the storage. This is September 23. And then the lawn guy is owed money, so I put that to him. And I'm like, you took all the money. I mean, you're making me look like a dirtbag with the obligations that mom had set forward, you fucking cunt. So you took all the money, and I try and give you Jerrio's information, and then you belittle him. You belittle me with Jerrio. He won't even talk to me. He was a good friend. He was talking to me every time he'd come and he'd hang out, gets involved with you, and the guy, he ignores me. He actually acts like I'm a leper once he deals with you. So thanks, by the way. Affidavit of Donald Lee. So here I send the affidavit of Donald Lee Nogay that says I, Donald Lee Nogay, attested on April 13th. I composed the attached document entitled Addendum to Protection Order for Marianne. She was in Bayfront Hospital where she had been in a coma for several days that he put her in and under sedation. It was written from my point of view and was not directed by my wife, which he said. Much of it was incorrect. He never went to the hospital or called the nurses station or as was attested to by nurses and security. No, the nurses and security never said that. This is Don just trying to get out of having said that himself. The nurses and security wouldn't have said anything like that that was completely unavailable from reality. You have to check into that hospital at that time in the morning, 1 a.m., and you have to give them an ID and you have to be brought back into the ICU. And you're not getting there because they just don't let anybody there unless it's emergency. You're talking about last rites. It didn't happen. I had her sign the document and she thought it was going to be a restraining order. Mom didn't know anything about this. And I filed it instead as a temporary injunction for protection against domestic violence. The case was da 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 da. And he went to court, but she's still not aware it was domestic violence. She was made aware that it was much later. It wasn't until much later as a result. Now, Pat knew that Don fucked me up and then created this will trust bullshit that Don steps into or that Pat steps into. So here it is. This is on September 2nd. This is 45 days after mom's death and the affidavit from Don taking away my rights by going to court and saying that I beat up my mom. It comes into play. And I have an injunction order protection against violence from my mom when I did nothing. I had nothing to do with this. This was bold lies. That's why the house and the car was given to mom and me, respectively, because Don was going to go to prison for this shit. This was the case. And here's where he literally, you see the little squiggly line over here? Over by this finger right there, little squiggly line. That's where he said my mom's signature was. He just grabbed her hand. The actual nurse on staff, the HR director, went and talked to the nurse, and she said he grabbed her hand while she was sleeping and put a pin in it and squiggled that line on it. That's literally what he did. Is he grabbed her hand while she was sleeping and squiggled the line on it. Fucking dirtbag. So, yeah, he had me almost arrested and bullshit. Now, here's mom's information for her petition. She's trying to change her name. Pat knows this. Within 45 days of my mom's death, that this is her handwriting. This is mom's own handwriting. Petition to change name. This is what she said. Or actually, I can't say this is her handwriting because it looks better than her handwriting thing. Petition to change name, floridacourt.gov. Petition for name change, 12 982.a. Cover sheet, 12 9 928. She's got all the codes here, and she's got information about it. Going to the clerk of circuit court. That was her desire, to go back to Richard and leave no gay behind. Okay? So I put mom was trying to return to Richard as she was happy, as she wasn't happy with all the bullshit affecting my good name by Don. First time at mom's desk, I found that picture of Mark. So there's a picture of Mark. Oh, just so the family that's here. Here's a picture that I found mom had of Mark playing the violin when he was a child. Just, so I sent that to Pat because I thought he might like to see his brother, and no, he didn't care. That was my first time at mom's desk, seriously, since this began. And this is on the top left drawer. I opened up the drawer, it was right there. Need diapers for Sammy and all kinds of shit. He doesn't respond. You have film in the storage? Yeah, I still have that. That's how the film storage canisters, they're right over here. You fucking cunt. You think I'm going to give them to you? You stole everything. You stole my motherfucking bed, my dresser, my clothes. You discarded my motherfucking clothes. You fucking cunt. Fuck you, you fucking piece of shit. You want your film canisters. I'm in Pittsburgh. Okay. The will deposit is going forward. Okay. So I deposit the will. I would literally like to talk to my Uncle Pat about what I've studied and learned regarding the first estate, the UCC one, and how money is created, not earned. Debt is earned. If this is a will that was revoked by a subsequent will, then it is a waste of your time. But do what you want. Okay. My mom revoked the second will that Don had set up and threw it away. There was no will but this. This is what she kept. This is what she wanted. I don't make those decisions. I've never made a motherfucking decision for my mom in my life. And I didn't make this one. You fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. You fucking piece of shit. Are you going to pay the storage or are you going to get some Siamese diapers and stuff? What's the name of the storage facility? If the estate's going to pay the bills, then it needs to be in my name, in the name of the estate. I will need to complete an inventory of all items in the storage that are property of the estate. Everything else should be stored elsewhere. So mom and I, because she owes me money and I'm living with her, taking care of her, we have taken my bad back and moved stuff to storage to give us more space in the house. And he's now telling me that her stuff can stay there, but fuck you and get out. I could care less. Everything else should be stored elsewhere. So I brought everything back to the house where he discarded it all of it. It would appear my mom's wishes were that we have housed our stuff, that we've housed our stuff together. That's why I moved it there, and she could put her stuff there. You can see mom paid the bills on most of them. It was in air conditioned. Uh, her stuff is too, so it was in air conditioned storage because I had my own storage prior. That, are you kidding me? You're really kidding me. You better take a look at what you're supposed to be doing and not what you want to be doing, because you're actually treating me like shit. And this is just not right. You wouldn't pay for my storage, and my mom's stuff was there, so I had to move it out when I'm disabled. Why am I surprised? I don't have time to deal with this until later next week. Please get me a list of your mom's things prior to that. I gave him the information for the storage. I gave him where it was, and he didn't ever put it in his name. Okay, didn't do anything. I gave literally. I mean, here's Smart Stop storage on 44. It literally says, and then I literally sent him the payment information of it and how to pay it, and he just didn't do it. I gave him the information and my login to do it. Here's my information. That's the email you need. That's all you need. And the password's right there. I mean, it's right there. There's the email. Okay. And he goes, okay, no, another late charge. Added up to the list. 3 months behind on the villages, paying enormous interest and balances. No, it's not a lot of late charge. I get locked out of the shit, and they fucking sell my stuff if it doesn't get paid for. Um, I know you keep telling me how much you did for your mother. Great job. Condescending, huh? Never controlled her or her money at all, as I was only here to help with what I was asked to do. I did a ton of extra, but I never went across any lines as morally repugnant the thoughts to me. I couldn't ever do that without directly being told to, so thanks. She was increasingly embarrassed and wanted me to leave her alone about it as she was depressed over her foreclosure. Wanna see the letter on this matter? He hey, it's as I followed her directions as best I could with some limitations because she's not here and I am. Why haven't you worked on this with me on these matters, as it would seem like you are not concerned at all about how hurtful you have been to me, concerned with your agenda to get Scotty as far as it goes. I now believe you are not thinking about me or my best interests at all. Thus, what are you doing in the first place? Actually bullying me to the point where I had to protect my psyche after the funeral? For God's sakes, do you assume you can treat anybody like this, let alone me? You are blinded by your own ignorance to the situation your sister and your nephew were dealing with. You know how wrong you are when you admit it to yourself. You had no right, no reason to do any of this bullshit at all. It's fraud. It's stupid. And so thanks, Pat. You have been great. Here's the situation on the storage. It's in your name, so I can't do anything. 320, 376, blah, blah, blah. 125 leave not paid by October 1st. 270 and 10 I'll pay if you transfer the account over to me or the trust. Then we need to get everything out of there related to the estate, whatever that is, before 10/1 due date. Then the estate will continue paying for the storage for you as long as you want, but it will be in advance. Otherwise, everything there will go up for auction. This is this has to be done quickly so we can move things. This has to be done quickly so we can move things. So let me know in the next few days. I've had my civil rights fight. I tell him that this is all he's doing is he wants me to move quickly on the storage. I'm a disabled man. I had my civil rights violated when I was getting the anxiety and emotional distress from all of this. I could focus more on getting made whole with the state. Mom opened an account for $10,000 in regions with her cash, and was the was to be the court travel fund for us. She was going to take me on trips because she took Michelle to fucking Ireland and to Italy twice, and was going to take me on a trip because we'd never gone fucking anywhere. And your dumb cunt fucking niece is a lying cunt cheat who took a bus and sold the bus too. You just have no idea what you stepped on. But the pearly gates have a lock on them. Just remember that, motherfucker. Furthermore, I wish to claim all debts paid to the estate via receipts. Okay, so here I'm talking about this. All right, the CRV. Okay, mom opened an account. This CRV could be worth more, a lot of money. We have a fee schedule. All right. So the false foreclosure, I have a fee schedule, and he should have been paying attention to this. I'm not sure, but what it may be best for you to work with me and get the money out of her old house too. Furthermore, I wish to claim all debts paid by the estate via receipts, contracts, or invoices. This is be put on notice. This is fucking um, September 7th, 2023. I want I wish to claim all debts paid by the estate via receipts, contracts, or invoices. I want to keep it all for reimbursement. Please keep this in mind. Thank you. If you're going to let this stuff go to auction, true colors. With this being said, I wish you had the soul of an empath. I didn't know if I have any money or I'd be able to get this. I was locked out of my shit. All right. Thank you for not giving a fuck about me. No worries at all. We did sell it to mom, backed out. Mom's other house that she got foreclosed on. Mom backed out of. Hence the region's cash fund and Costa Rica talk, the pencil. She owed me and Ryan for doing all the work to get that house fixed up to sell, and then she backed out of the contract. I mean, we did everything. The boy and I moved stuff out of it, did all kinds of shit. I painted the whole fucker, did lawn, landscaping. Try to understand this. The estate has no liquidity, and you are the one person slowing down the process. There is no money. I have already paid $20,000 out of my pocket. No more. I will not let any you are. I'm not letting anything go to auction. You are. I will not pay your bills out of my own pocket. I offer to be fair option, but you expect the tooth fairy offer you a fair option, but you expect the tooth fairy to come up with money. You have no sense of reality. Where do you expect this money to come from? Transfer the account over to me and it will not go up for auction. It's up to you, not me. Do as you wish. Good God. You aren't here to help. You just get paid back. I have no problem paying you back if your actions towards me become kind and more consistent with respect. Otherwise, I really don't know what you have to say about this at all. He is over his skis, is what I've told you. You can do better, Pat. Seriously, unless I'm viewed as an enemy, right? Is that is it really all about money, Pat? Give me a break. You've chosen to hurt me this much over money? Okay, let's quit talking about money. What is it I can do for you? Pay attention. Sure. The and I are still alive here. I get it. But what can I do? The fact remains, Mom would have sanctioned any of this bullshit. And what bullshit are you returning to? Affronted at a funeral home, told to get out, given an ultimatum, taken position of don't spend any money on credit cards to prepare. Could have paid up a few months in advance, got groceries, dog food, and diapers. Instead, I took your word. Oh boy. But money isn't important, so quit asking for it. He says money isn't important, so quit asking for it. I'm asking for the credits on account, the Federal Reserve, uh, debt notes that we all know are coupons for the credit over there on the store shelves. Okay, we're going to play games now. Is that what? That wouldn't be a mistake now, would it? Smile when you act with such darkness inside. Federal Reserve notes, debt instruments. I suspect you understand the entire process and are automatically charged with to say fuck you when I bring it up. UCC, the 1099 OIDs, etc. But how would I know? The administration of the First Estate is a game played by the 1%, right? I hope to figure it out one day. As I see it, you make a payment on a newly opened account. That payment is seen as exchange for the creditor's rights. As you see the one payment now, they can subrogate your rights to the creditor rights as the implied surety and come in and seek reimbursement for all your rights, titles, and interests in principal, property, and principal debtor, even without making a single payment. You can still invoke 100% rights of subrogation by demanding a written statement making them guarantee to your rights of subrogation. The implied surety before making any payment, so you will know that you're going to be reimbursed your money for paying for the surety. They are implying that you are the principal debtor. Bring this up to any and all creditors, and they're going to move forward and that want to move forward with collections and they would rather close out the accounts, credits, and debts. So I'm trying to tell them some stuff and help them with some of this information that I know. Um, so you contacted Michelle rather than reply. Gas off as well. I suppose you know with with what's going on between the two of you. Hot water necessary? Jesus Christ. I'll be working on pulling weeds and trying to fix things around the house. Was going to do some paint because it's not been done well by Larry's people last year. Sorting my things out, trying to organize stuff to get rid of for myself and trying to claim some fiat and just keeps getting better and better with you trying to corrupt it all. Please keep in mind, this is September 12th, that your purpose to hurt me in the early stages of development with this elastic effect of harmful actions towards an ADA individual, telling him I'm disabled, criminal possibly. I don't know, but you need to be more collaborative or I'm not going to be able to deal with you in any manner. I have health problems, physiological problems, and that's not considering a lack of morale. It's not worth considering your lack of morality in your endeavors. Who's to say smoking me out? Hitler, Mao, Lenin, or Stalin type top faces in totalitarianism? Lie. What does the truth mean to most people anymore? Nothing at all. Say I'm wrong. Scott, on the contrary, I've tried to assist you multiple times and you have refused help. It is well documented. Your threats will go nowhere. You need to pay your own bill. I offered you an advance multiple times and you have refused them. You offer me a ridiculous advance, no measure of sanity to get it at all, to get to it at all. Get out of your feeling. You can't abuse me so you can have your own way. You didn't talk about my concerns, my issues, the dogs, the problems with the house, anything that's already that I already had in the works that I was taking care of, i.e., the stuff that was happening here because life happening here. There was life happening here before my mom passed. So before and after my mom passed. So you just thought everything died. Come on. We are alive, Pat. This bullshit is evil. You will see. Bye and thank you. Not thankful. Bye and not thankful to a liar. I hope I'm not caused loss, injury, or harm by you or negligence, acting in a contrived role that simply doesn't exist. Good luck, and of course, this is not a threat. I hope it's a farewell. You're over your skis. Oh, too late. I've already been harmed and injured. Keep going. Loss is on the boards. You do realize that you offered me an old broken down bus that's full of water and mold, and I'm the only one that's done anything to protect it, but have been kept from the bus and not concerned about it is the first who's actually claiming 100% to be hers, is the one who's claiming to be and not concerned about it in the first place is the one who's claiming it to be 100% hers, and even said she is going to sell it. I have it on videotape of that too. All of it is going to look horrible for our family, and I'm fixing the deposit, the first will on Friday, and the one and only will on Friday that I have, rather than trying to work with you crazy people. What the fuck did do to you? What the fuck did do to you? Crazy people here. What the fuck did they do to you? Please ask yourself that. What the fuck did I do to you is what I was trying to say. No respect at all. Nothing ventured, nothing gained. That's equity, Unc. Uh, as I tried to help you over and over to communicate, you kept talking down to me as you'd appear. So you believe you have some right to do. I don't want to hurt you or be hurt by all this bullshit. You're trying to attempt to put me through. I must most definitely will protect myself from you. Why does what does this tell you about your actions? Okay, I'm just going to start reading his now from now on. All right. All right, Scott, please understand that my only role is to manage the estate, and that's where it ends. I am going to that to the best of my ability, despite your lack of cooperation. I have asked for original copy of the current will and trust, but you have refused to provide it. I told him I didn't have it. I had that. The only will that was left was one my mom left. That's all she had. That's all there was. What was I supposed to do? Create one myself like him? Fucking forgery, plagiarist, bullshit. I didn't do that. You did that. You and the courts fucking created fraud on the courts with a forged will, trust, and fucking presentment. It wasn't my mom. She didn't want nothing to do with that. She discarded it. It was nowhere around. And I didn't go through her shit. So it was all in the house for you to go through, and you didn't. You have refused to provide it. This is dragging out process, costing more money, and it can be worked out, but it will be worked out in the end. It's your responsibility to take care of yourself. I haven't got a request from you for a will or a trust. In fact, the records show you said you had one I've been asking for since day one. So, wow, this is duplicitous at best. You're asking me for a will and a trust and pretending here in September, this is 2 months after my mom is gone, that I'm hiding it from you're pretending that I'm fucking hiding it from you when you haven't even said the first thing other than, I've been asking you to show me what you had. I never had anything. I never once had a motherfucking thing other than a copy. You knew I had a copy, and that's all you had. Nobody had the real one because she threw it away. She discarded it. She was no longer wanting to be Mrs. No Gay, you dumb fuck. So from August 13th, which you responded to, the attorneys also have this email. I'm asking you to please cooperate. Get the original trust so a new trust does not have to be developed, wasting time and money. I'm asking you again, please provide original copy of the July 22nd. Mom's will was July 22nd. She died on July 23rd, 10 years and a day later. I fucking didn't know that. Oh, and just literally 10 years and a day after this fucking bullshit came out. How fucking poetic. And the trust, which lasted amended on April 18th, 2016. There was an amendment after that. But all I had was the copies, and I showed him the copies. He wants an original from a guy that only had a copy. And mom threw away her original. She pulled it from Dean and Dean. That's why Dean and Dean fired you. That's why they fired you. They weren't going to put that writ of ejectment because they didn't have a trust or a will with a wet ink signature. And that was a problem. That's why you went and got a fucking attorney from Leesburg, a whole nother county, Lake County, to come into Sumter County. You have a Lake County attorney. What? There were no attorneys in fucking Sumter that would deal with your bloody lying ass? Okay. Okay, I see where we're going with this. So, what is the will's date? What is the date on the will? The only will is the '04, same as dad's, both together. And you don't have a copy of the original trust, correct? Do not. Michelle sent me the same thing that you sent her. All I have is that copy. Last will and testament. I sent him again. I sent him mom's fucking will. This is what she left. She's got her signature on there, the notary signature, dad's initials. That's what the fuck she left. This is it. This is it. This is what she left. I didn't make this up. That's what I'm told I must deposit in the morning. Been working on this communication with you and Michelle for some time now. Ignored my efforts to make things easy. Heading to the clerk with this. Thank you for fucking doing all this bullshit. Call me when you can. And I got American General Life Insurance Company. I thought you might have some life insurance. What are you? So read the will and trust. It's my only objective. What your mom asked me to do. You're really outside of the truth wholeheartedly. I feel sorry for you. FYI, there's a $125,000 life insurance policy, so you should get your money back, okay? I would imagine, I'm sure your biggest concern and your motivation for the underlying factors. Um, I don't know what this is. Law school. Okay. Slimy Pat, I wonder if you told Mary how slimy your actions are. Talk to me, you lying punk. So Michelle's cashing checks with the dog Suffer, huh? Great job. October 19th. Like literally, they gave out information to Michelle and the boys. This is October, and they cashed checks at the beginning of August, September, October from Parity that Pat got into the accounts, I guess, and they did a distribution. Not he didn't, but he found out there's some accounts. So Michelle and the boys all got money while I was starving and having the power turned, the gas turned off and the hot water. I had no way to cook, had no hot water. It was just ridiculous. I just reviewed the insurance policy. Pet insurance is only if the pet is injured in a car accident, covered under the insurance, blah, blah, blah. Thank you. You should talk to me. You should likely talk to me, man, before this gets all turned around on you, which it's happening right now, buddy. As the will I had was the only one with mom had here. I have now looked everywhere, nothing. So if I am fighting a fight for impossible being waged by you, if I'm finding a fight for the impossible being waged by you, why? Mom left hers as well as dad's will in the sleeve marked wills.
If you believe otherwise, you need to remove your imagination from this and be respectful of what you're putting me through and stop and correct. Seriously, this is my best advice to you. Otherwise, your ridiculous accusations will be met with all facts laid upon the table and opportunity that will make a public use of many private affairs to set the record straight. If you or Michelle have cash checks from mom's estate, please let me know what, when, and how this occurred as soon as possible. Please do not settle any accounts or be accepting any money without full account of the said distribution. I prefer you stay out of this as well. Michelle has said she asked you to do the same. A full accounting will be provided to all beneficiaries as required by law. Rest easy. Nothing has been paid from a trust account other than expenses of the estate. Zero has gone to Michelle, but the cash in this account is getting low and will run out in December. After that, the beneficiaries will need to pay the expenses of the estate unless the trust gets access to the assets in the other accounts. Hope this helps. How sure are you Michelle has not gotten any insurance payment or annuity payment? I'm the only one that has been charged with caring for my mom's dog's house, etc. And you need not concern yourself with another man's way, especially under color of law 18 USC 242, 243, 245, or 42 USC 1983. Please step away from what concerns you not, lest it come to your estate upon the table to ration. Sincerely, 246 or no 3. I have nothing to do with insurance. That's not under the trust, so I can't help you. What trust? Where you were durable power of attorney, power of financial attorney, and disregarded all my attempts to communicate with you regarding your mom losing her house at 1225 Jaffia. Now you actually want to create something I told you I know she disposed of some time ago when Michelle recreated everything with her in 2019, as far as I can tell. You went to Disney rather than come over here at the house at 10:30 a.m. on 8/9, Pat. Who are you kidding? When all I know is you have always lacked respect for me, and I give you the respect freely after all these years of you ignoring me. So give me a break with your position, your poison agenda. All could have been settled at the same day, and we should have been found exactly what I deposited, and we all would have found exactly what I deposited in the court. Nothing else. But Disney was more important to you. May request for forensic accounting by public accounting due to the nature of your past extensive corporate financial experience. You love me more, I know, Uncle. So riddle me this. Michelle leaves mom's house with a stack of financial documents as I'm bedside at mom's house. Next, she's cashing insurance checks, but nevertheless, she has no information regarding this matter. I'm not sure I'm getting this. Documents are in her possession. She said she returned everything. She took what? Is that true or untrue? Did you receive anything from insurance regarding the funeral expenses? This is very duplicitous at best. Who can I trust at this point? Man up. She said you told her to take those documents from the house. Did you have a right to tell her to do that? And is that you leaning towards one beneficiary towards more than another? So Scott in real life is free to view and coming to a screen near you. Any Patrick money from mom, anything? Make like the Mayflower and come across. Have you received any money whatsoever from the estate regarding this estate? Do you take money from any account to pay yourself for anything? Not a trick question. Scott, your paranoia is getting to you. The answer is no. It would seem that you have been working against me, so trusting you with the lies you've already told is hard to fathom. Simply put, you have not been credible in this at all, sadly. Whatever, Scott. Get a life. It's not too late. You've got a lot of ground to make up. You're awesome, and your assumptions as to who I am and what I am are unfounded. You simply put, judgmental. You might rethink who should rather get a life, my friend, as you will be surprised at what adversity I have overcome, as well how much I've done for others. You have been conspiring against me since you met Don Noge, when I'm the one who asked you to step in on behalf of the truth. As with that situation, I suspect truth is in your Dunning Kruger approach. I tried, Pat. You're just going to be a dick to me no matter what I do. I accept that. I feel sorry for you too. You carry so much animus towards me. It's sad. I take care. Are you driving the Cadillac? You should not drive it. You are not insured. The policy expires, and any liability brought against the estate would affect all beneficiaries financially. The estate attorney is contacting the sheriff office to inform them that you are not covered on the current policy, and after November 15th, the current policy expires. The car will have no insurance. So he's actively threatening me with sheriff's officers. He'd been doing that before, and um, he's going to do it here in Tampa. Call the sheriff, and he actually brought the sheriff to have me removed. So it appears that you have directed a parody or someone with parody investment to reach out to Michelle and the four boys and others, and they've all received money cashing checks, but nobody told them to call me. All right. More delusional paranoia and unwarranted insults. None of what you said is true, so it warrants no comment. All right. There you go again with the name calling. I basically said, if you're coming after what is rightfully mine and my sister's, and you're not going to get away with it, and if with it, I will come after what is yours and your wife's and your daughter's. I promise to God, you will do. I will do what is right if you're not doing what is right. So you can kick rocks, you moron. There you go with the name calling. It's clear defense mechanism that helps you cope. I have constitutional protections, not rights, protections that prevent you from doing this and a lot of other stuff that's already happened to mom. But a position you were in a position of durable power of attorney at the time mom died, not a trustee afterwards. That was never the case. She never left that be that way. She threw it away and crossed your name out. Apparently, I don't have any other way of saying anything else happened other than what I can see with my own two eyes, and I can prove it. So kick rocks. Don't be a dick. Just stop. Just stop trying to hurt your already disabled nephew who's done nothing but try and reach out to you and be a good friend. But now you're trying to hurt me more. Why? On behalf of Don Noge? You're really creepy. You've done nothing but lie to me the whole time. And you're trying to lie about me so that you're trying to make me look bad to all the family. And you have another one up on me. You deserve it. Public accountant, forensic audit. All accounts will be required after your unlawful involvement. Wait, you meet a friend of mine. If necessity compelled her involvement, no need to worry. The ledger will be subpoenaed if it must be. Let's see negative instruments. Uncle Pat, I am definitely not paranoid, but maybe you ought to. I am not harming you. However, I've been repeatedly done wrong by you. Not cool, Luke. You are and the other beneficiaries have a legal right to audit. If everyone is in agreement, the cost will be split equally. If not, the cost will be deducted from the beneficiary that requests it. If you Here's the letter from Don Noge where he's threatening me. Here's the case where I showed Pat the case where Don put me in front of a judge unlawfully. A while back, you mentioned life insurance. Who is it with and what is the beneficiary? Life insurance, the policy estate. I'm aware of variable annuity. This estate. You are not a trustee as I see it. So here I am, and well, fuck. Okay, it looks like the end of November, 29th of November. And he's asked me about an insurance policy. Please let me know. And basically, I said, you're not the trustee. As I see it, stop and correct or be held liable. This is the 30th of November. Be held liable. 29th, I think, of November. God is watching you. Tell Mary I'm sorry, but she's attached to your dumb ass. She's not going to be able to fucking get out of the way of this without you fucking causing her some grief. Not too bright here. So I wrote a bunch of other, stop and correct. And then I put Scott, none of this helps. I've chosen not to respond to you because I'm either confused by your comments or find them wrong or outside of my control. I will make one attempt to respond and see if it helps, but frankly, I doubt it will. Too much text. You're avoiding having any substantive combo and only one driving forward what my mother herself disregarded. Michelle, Jean Richard, aware and facilitated a falsehood forward into the court. Y'all are going to jail for this. I'm telling you, I'm not going to stop till I put your fuck ass in jail unless you bend the knee quickly, quickly. You're all going to end up in prison. I'm not going to tell you what it takes to get the fuck out of it. Michelle took her McManus and Manus to do it all over again, to to regard my father's will and place them together. Michelle took her to McManus and McManus to do it all over, to regard my father's will and place them together. Now you have done wrong, not tried, done wrong. This is what this is why I do not take your calls. They're nowhere. They nowhere. They now no. They nowhere. This is why don't take your calls. They nowhere. Okay. You're not a man at all. What you are is a fucking corporate slug who thinks you have the right to just step all over people and haven't sat down at the table and looked at anything with me. Haven't gone and gotten rid of a motherfucking thing. Michelle's been here, Becky's been here. Everybody went through stuff before I did. And you don't believe me? The only thing I had says copies on it. And mom got rid of the original, and I'll take pictures as soon as I find it of this shit once she crossed out your motherfucking name. And you're wrong. And that's okay because God will sort it out because you didn't believe the truth. You thought you were a wire. You thought you weren't a liar until now. Liar, liar, liar. And then this is the again, the information with the will. This is, I just sent him the will again. That's, you're a liar. This is what she left. I don't have other shit. I don't have anything else. That's all I ever had. My back is hurting. I'm a disabled individual with a spine who's diminished, and I'm going to sit down. So I'm going to sit down and find that document she crossed out a name and show it to you when I find it. Hmm. Okay, so we're going to stop this for now, and I'm going to get the transcript. Let's see how that goes. And no, end stream.